I can swim. Just can't walk or dress myself. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Salute and welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end. Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one only Great Black Shark. Give me a black fist or a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a black fist or a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and crystal clear, ladies and gentlemen. Because tonight, oh yeah, if you saw the title in the thumbnail, you know we about to cook some tethers over here tonight. The issue is, okay, can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me loud and clear now, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. Everybody hear me loud and clear. All right, I want to make sure I can be heard. All right, hold on. Let me check something else out. All right, just a second. All right, let's see if this fixes our issue on our end here. All right, and in the chat room, so okay, I got a thumbs up. All right, seeing a couple more, so y'all can hear me okay. All right, yeah, they're gonna mess with this tonight. They got good reason, they should. I mean, look, yeah, they better get ready to start messing with it because, yeah, we finna cook. So, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be addressing why the Tether class is a cancer in American hip hop culture and a lot more tonight. And what I'm going to cover here is a specific subject. A lot of you probably have already seen it. As you know, the Latino, yes, Latino, that's what I call him. Sloppy Joe, aka Fat Joe, Fat Ho, whatever you want to call him. One of the most talentless so-called rappers in the industry. Really don't belong in the industry. I don't have no problem saying that. Music is garbage. Any hits that he's had is because other people have been on it. He's never had a song of his own where you like, oh my God, boy, that Fat Joe by himself, boy, I gotta go get his album. I mean, we just got, look, a lot of folks don't like to say what I just said, but particularly being from the South, I can tell you right now, there has never been a large group of foundational Black American freedmen that were like, boy, did you hear that Fat Joe? I can't wait. I'm talking about from the 90s. See, I'm a Gen Xer for you young ones. You know, this is before your time. Those of us who are Gen Xers, anybody in here that remember hip hop in the 90s, the Gen Xers, and correct me if I'm wrong, no matter where you from in this country, even if you're not from the South, did any of you ever remember anybody around you saying, you know what, boy, we got to get that new Fat Joe, boy. We can't wait to get that. Is it just me making it up? Sound off in the chat room. Let me know. Let it be known if it's just me or wherever you were from. Do you need to correct me? Nah, GBS over here in my area, boy. Fat Joe was hitting. We was on that. It is that. And look, not gonna jump down your throat. Maybe it was different in y'all area. Okay, so I'm seeing hell no. I'm seeing a nope. I'm seeing another no. Anybody else, brothers and sisters? It was Fat Joe. That shit. Where you were from? Where we at, family? I'm seeing a bunch of no's in the chat room. Do we have any yeses? I mean, hey, cause you free to answer how you want. Hey, man, I just want to know because I'm just speaking about where I was and where I grew up at. And he was never that dude over here, man. I mean, look, a lot of you young folks, you ain't gonna be able to relate to this, but in the beginning, let me do the old timer voice. You see, back in the beginning, Sonny, there was this thing called Rap City back in the day. Yes, Rap City. Listen, man, Rap City was the shit. And back in the day, when he was on BET Rap City, I will never forget it, family. They put him up there, and I was just like, what the hell is this? Weird, Humpty Dumpty looking motherfucker, man. With just, I tried to listen to his goofball shit. I forget the name of that damn song, but it was the lamest shit I've heard. So I'm like, man, what the hell is this, man? And I mean, it's like every time the bastard came on Rap City, I was like, all right, it's time to change the channel. I'll come back after his video is gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how bad it was for me. See, you know, if I didn't like something, I just didn't partake of it at all. And so, you know, he just kind of persisted around like a cancer and a parasite for years. And like, you know, his rap career would have been finished early. But everybody that's a hip hop aficionado, you know the truth of what I'm saying. The only thing that saved Fat Joe and kept him relevant in hip hop was Big Pun. Now, salute to Christopher Rios. That was a rapper. That yes. For a Hispanic dude, Christopher Rios had them goddamn bars. I ain't gonna lie, man. If you do a top 20 of best rappers, you got to put him in there. You got to put him in there. Big Pun could spit. Much respect to Big Pun because he didn't disrespect foundational Black American freedmen in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I know about. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, because see, back in the 90s, it was different. If they did feel a certain type of way, they wasn't as bold with it as they are now. You know what I'm saying? But old boy Big Pun, he was the truth now. So I got to give Christopher Rios his props on that. And Fat Joe basically leached off of him to stay relevant and have somewhat of a career, right? So if it wouldn't have been for that, he would have been long gone. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you had your other rappers like Cuban Links and a couple of other guys that, you know, they had bars or what have you. It's very few and far between if we really gonna be honest. And I'm talking about back then to now. And look, let me go ahead and make this Black American creation. Okay, everybody else came and participated, but they didn't have a hand in creating a damn thing. You mimicking somebody and doing what was already established before you doesn't mean you're a creator in it. We just got to go and keep telling the truth about that. Let me tell you something. From then till now, I don't care what this white folks, Hispanics, East Indians, Arabs, Caribbean, whatever. It's very few, count them on damn near one hand, few artists that are not foundational Black American freedmen that you can say, oh, this artist was the shit. Now, we got to acknowledge the ones that are actually talented, and I'm going to be fair with this, whether I agree or disagree with they tethering or not. Got to salute Biggie Smalls. Brother was talented. He could rhyme, okay? I'll even give props to Busta Rhymes' tether ass, okay? Busta had skills, all right? But when you start really getting beyond names like that, okay, some people want to put Eminem in there. Let me tell you the problem I have with Eminem, okay? To me, it's a difference between you rhyming and actually rapping, okay, about something with substance. All that cornball shit Eminem came out with in the beginning of his career, that was garbage. I wasn't feeling it. I was one of the people that was like, okay, the white boy don't belong here. I mean, look, Vanilla Ice, the only way you kind of really blew up and latched on, to be honest with you, you had the little feature on the Ninja Turtles movie. A lot of kids liked that song, and you jumped up from there. Then you had your Ice Ice Baby album. Okay, you know, that's about it. But was he talented like that? No. If you really go back and listen to his music, you're like, yeah, other than the little catchy songs, the little one-hit wonders you had, you wasn't really talented like that. Now, later, as Eminem, you know, latched on and probably had ghostwriters and things of that nature, okay, he started spitting a little bit. But even then, because see, this is the truth nobody don't want to tell about Eminem. You got a lot of Negroes that's scared to say what I'm about to say. Even after he improved his technique and started rhyming about more than killing his mom and all that other goofball shit, if you was to put Eminem in a top 10, definitely he's not worthy of being in no top 5. Yes, goddamn it, I said it. Compare him to master lyricists, whether they foundational Black American freedmen or not. We got to talk turkey. We're going to get this straight before I get into the meat of the subject matter tonight. If you compare him to Tupac, Biggie, we throwing in people that even I disagree with, Busta, okay, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, all right, I'm going across the board, FBA, non-FBA. We talking about some of the best spitters to ever do it. Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J, hell, even some of the women, Shauna, okay, how many of y'all remember her? Huh? Yeah, we got to talk this talk, man. You know, Mia X, oh, yeah, I'm putting her in there. Yeah, you damn right. All right. We talking about some of the best spitters to ever do it. Juvenile, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Little crackhead Weezy, especially when he was in his younger years before he really got cracked out like that, you know, and started losing mind and cooning, okay? When you look at some of the best lyricists to ever pick up a mic, you really gonna look me in the eye with a straight face for anybody that's, oh, you know, you got some Eminem ass kissers in here, okay? And not in this chat room, I don't think, but just period. Do you really gonna sit here and tell me he belong amongst those people that I named? I could barely even get it out. Salute to Latravia Lawson for the cash out. Salute, my good brother. Thank you very much, my good man. But is anybody gonna see it? Yeah, Queen Latifah, okay, Rakim, and look, let me correct Rakim, because we all know his goofball ass, legendary. You don't give away the title of the greatest when we the people crowned you the greatest, because before Tupac and all that, if you looked at Rakim's penmanship, the subject matter, what he was talking about, the way he rhymed, he revolutionized rap and changed the way people had to address going into hip hop. He made people step their game up, so which is why we kind of credit Rakim as one of the greatest to ever do it. Andre 3000, oh man, Goody Mob, Outkast, man, you know what I'm saying? Heavy D, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know, we got to name the people that actually had talent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when you name the greats in the beginning era, you're going to put Eminem in there. That is so disrespectful, because see, one of the things where we fucked up at as foundational Black Americans as far as gatekeeping that particular aspect of our culture with hip hop, we were trying to be all inclusive and let people come in that didn't really qualify as whether it was hip hop or R&B. Okay, for example, one of the most disrespectful things ever. Oh, I'm gonna cook tonight. I remember when I looked up and people were telling me they consider Post Malone R&B. Have you lost your fucking mind? Yes. Oh, we gonna get it straight over here tonight, goddammit. Post Malone? Listen, man, when you say R&B to me, if you're not talking about Luther Vandross, if you're not talking about Marvin Gaye, Anita Baker, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Frankie Beverly and Mays, I mean, Freddie Jackson, Tony Braxton, I mean, shit, Tony Tone, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're not talking about people like that, that's R&B. Music with some substance, some love to it. What the fuck is Post Malone gonna do with any of that? You put this garbage in here and call this hip hop. See, one of the worst mistakes you can make as far as gatekeeping your culture, I tell people, you got to think about culture as if it's your house. You don't let any and everything in your house. You sweep trash out your house. Like, this doesn't belong in here. The trash must go out of your house. If not, what happens if you don't take the trash out of a house? It starts to stink. And it contaminates the air in the house. And for far too long, we've allowed bullshit to contaminate our cultural house. See, somebody got to address this. And the fat, chunky bastard that you see in the thumbnail, I'm going to get to his ass here later on tonight because I'm going to say what need to be said about this. It's been a long time coming, okay? So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I had to go ahead and cook, but before we get into this, I want to remind all of our Atlanta brothers and sisters that our good brother Raheem Shabazz going to be doing a book signing of his new book, okay? Radical Hope in the 21st Century. Great book. I have it myself. I strongly recommend it. So I'm going to play this for y'all for those of you in the Atlanta area or surrounding area. If you can get on up to Morrow, Georgia, Nubian Bookstore, that's where it's going to be held. Come on up there and meet the good brother, man. He's also the documentary filmmaker of Elementary Genocide 1, 2, and 3. Very intelligent brother, does a lot of good work in the community, man. It'll be a good thing to come on up there and get your book signed. So I want y'all to check this out. Then we're going to get started right after this.
Raheem Shabazz, and I'm going to be at Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. Join me for an unforgettable book signing and meet and greet. It's your chance to grab your signed copy, snap a photo, and share some great conversations. This Saturday, May 29th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., Nubian Bookstore. I can't wait to meet you there.
Yes, indeed, man. Y'all come through if you are in the Atlanta area and, like I said, meet the brother, chop it up. And that reminds me, I forgot to ask Brother Rob if he's going to have some copies of his documentary there. I'm going to try to make it a note to do that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, man, we got to deal with clean up this cultural house because I'm looking in the chat. I see some more names. Oh, yeah, Foodophilia. Okay. 8Ball and MJG. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, some of that, I grew up off of that. Okay, then Dad Miller TV, Genuine, all right. Hey, shit, we even got to take it up to New York. The Wu-Tang Clan, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Boys to Men as far as the R&B, New Edition, Drew Hill. Oh, man, Diesel Mike, brother, you took me back then. Hold on, man. Boy, see, I know I got my people in here, whether you LBA or not. We got some real hip-hop and R&B aficionados over here because I'm looking in this chat. Y'all letting me know that y'all got good taste in music. Keena Collins, Raekwon the Chef. Oh, yes, sir. Look, man, regarding New Edition, let me talk to y'all for a minute, man. Because see, a lot of people that's not from our culture, they don't understand how important our music is to our lives. I'm going to take y'all back a quick second. Bear with me, okay? When I was a little boy in the 80s, how many of y'all remember Mr. Telephone Man, dude? You know what I'm saying? For the brothers now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, little old wet behind the ear dude, man, that song, man. Boy, if that didn't do something to you as a little boy, man, look, shit. We was some managed little motherfuckers back in the day, okay? We just got to go and call it what it was, man. We latched on to a lot of things early. And, that was one of the first, like, real R&B love songs that really struck a chord with me. And my love for that genre of music just grew from there. And as you know what I'm saying, going fast forward beyond Mr. Telephone Man, still a great song to this day. You know what I'm saying? You saw how New Edition, because they had actual talent, look what they progressed into. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was them as a group or in their solo careers, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so when you have talent, you have staying power. You didn't have to rely on no gimmicks. See, back in the early days, you had to be an actual singer. You had to know how to dance, okay? And you had to have songwriting talent in order for people to buy your records, in order for you to go on tour. It wasn't about who you were going to pay and none of this other goofball shit. If you wasn't talented back then, nobody wasn't fooling with you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, we just got to really tell the truth about how a lot of folks kind of dropped the ball, regardless of the record labels that ran by white folks. What we forgot was we are the cultural executives. Yes, I'm coining a new term. The cultural executives. What do I mean by that? If we don't co-sign or don't support it, it don't blow up, regardless of whether if you say, well, if you look at today, it's mostly white folks, etc., that go to the concerts. That's true. But the only reason the white folks go there is because we, foundational Black American freedmen, co-sign something and make it hot. If we don't fool with it, they don't want to fool with it. Because, see, you got to understand something. I'm finna insult some of the Alabaster people tonight, but I can't help it. If your culture is boring, you have to steal everything for everybody. I'm not telling no lies. You got to understand something. If you one of the Alabaster people, you know why they always like, we gotta go see what the blacks are doing. Because look at them. Their skin is unseasoned. They have very little melanin. It's unseasoned skin. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Their unseasoned skin is a reflection of their unseasoned culture and their lives. It's boring. They don't look, if they really tell the truth, they know they get bored around each other. This is why when they're around each other too long, they start fighting like wild trailer rats, okay? We just got to call them what they are, uncivilized savages, okay? I mean, so, you know, in order to get life, again, go see the movie Sinners. There's so many things about that movie that rings true if you're a foundational Black American freedman. Understand that one of the reasons, just like Remick in the movie, that white people come around us, our lives and our culture and our music has a flavor to it that the soul and the spirit can experience, okay? You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's like if a white person come around Black people for the first time, if they try our food, our music, our culture and everything, just to how we vibe with each other, this is where you get your Woe Vickies and your Bad Babies from, even though they call themselves emulating hood rats and things of that nature. But they latch on to parts of our culture that they love and they don't want to let it go because they don't have that in their society. Their culture is absolutely bland. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. If I was to wake up one day, now it would be a Tether or Sambo's dream. Yep, I see you, Smooth T Mac, Kid and Play. Oh, man, brother, taking it back to the 80s, man. Look, Kwame, that's another one. Yeah, see, boy, I'm naming some names now to some young people like, who? Y'all go look these names up, man. Good music. But like I was saying, man, if the good Lord was to ever punish me, and I pray to the Lord that he doesn't. And one day I woke up and he just said, son, for all the things you done, I'm going to strip you of all your melanin. And I'm going to thin your lips and you're going to wake up a white man. I wake up, go look in the mirror, my hair is blonde, my lips are thin because I have some juicy, gorgeous, foundational Black American freedman lip, okay? These lips have been connoisseurs of many a great female, you know what I'm saying, delicacies, okay? I mean, I love these lips of mine. I love everything about being Black. And one day I go and look in this mirror and the Lord done punish me and strip me of my melanin. Oh, Lord, that would be hell on earth. Oh, I would be so depressed. I would cry and beg and plead. Oh, God, please, don't leave me like this. Because, I mean, if you wake up being one of them, you lame as hell. Look, I just got to call it what it is. I see why there's so many wiggers, man, because you wake up and you know you lame by default. You are the lame bastards of earth. Yes, I don't care who feelings I hurt. You know it's true. You know it's true. You wake up lame every day. Salute to the good sisters, King College. Like, we got to tell the truth. This is why they emulate the men and the women. This is why you see them worldwide. For those of you that don't travel, please start traveling. They try to emulate, you know what I'm saying, the ball fade. They try to emulate, you know what I'm saying, our braids. Ladies, you are definitely heavily copied. A lot of you sisters, if you travel, all that bullshit that people talk here or whatever, get outside of America for a minute and you can be like, wait a minute, these bitches are trying to do what we do. And a poor job of it. Because look, I got to go here. I done got on the Alabaster people. I got to get on the Tether class. When you come over here talking all this shit about foundational Black American freedmen women, well, there's just kind of one category that really leaves you hanging out there. And, you know, you latched on to the culture of getting weave. Now, y'all know me. I'm not a weave man, but it's a part of foundational Black American women's culture. And one thing I can say about the sisters that get the weave, at least they can make the shit look like you can't really tell if it's their hair or not, unless you know what you're looking for. But why is it that all the tether winches, weaves, and wigs are dusty and dry to be damned? I just wonder that. I mean, we got some cultural questions we got to ask. So I'm like, look, if you're going to talk shit about somebody you're trying to emulate, at least do a good job imitating, okay? Because you're never going to be able to duplicate, okay? You can emulate and all you want or whatever. You're not going to be able to duplicate foundational Black American freedom culture in any aspect. That's no disrespect to nobody. I love other people's culture. They should be proud of their own culture. But we got to tell the truth, man. Everybody worldwide is trying to emulate us. From our lingo to our fashion to everything, okay? But you don't respect the people that you imitate and then have the nerve to tell us that we don't have a culture. The most idiotic, schizophrenic thing ever. I'm like, well, what the hell is this you copying? Because those that say that, you not practicing or wearing your traditional clothing or speaking with your traditional lingo. Why are you emulating us if we don't have a culture? You can't emulate something that doesn't exist, okay? Y'all know me, man. But anyway, that's just a couple of things we're going to deal with here tonight. And a lot of people are wondering why I'm going so hard in the paint, but I got to do it. Yes, tether winches. We got to call them what they are, my sister only Pamela's way. We got to call them what they are. And again, that's a class. You know, my first sergeant, some chick named Star Wigs be crooked. Yes. Crooked wig syndrome. Yes. CWS, crooked wig syndrome. Look, let me say something, because see, I was gonna leave it alone, but my first sergeant brought this up. We got to do it. Tether winches. Let me talk to the tether winch community, especially the tether winches that chase after Zaddy. Require Zaddy, in order for him to be with you, require him to at least help you get some decent wigs and weaves, and for the love of God, get a mirror so you can keep these motherfuckers from being crooked. Wig be all twisted and turned to the side and shit, looking like a retarded version of Cousin It from the Addams Family. Stop this shit. Damn it, if you gonna emulate people's culture, respect this shit enough to get it right. Okay, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone, y'all. It's your fault. My first sergeant did this. I was gonna leave this alone. It's her fault. She did it, bringing up the crooked wigs, okay? I had to do it. Anyway, let's get down to business, family. So we're gonna do a little refresher here, and we're gonna start out dealing with Fat Ho here, Sloppy Joe, whatever you want to call him. And then I'm gonna get into the main subject matter about why he and others don't belong in our culture. As usual, I'll be stopping this in certain parts to make certain points. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and pardon my manners. I got to cooking so much, I forgot to greet y'all. See, how rude am I? I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. My bad, okay? Listen, sometimes I get in my bag, man, and I forget to do this because you all are very esteemed guests over here. And speaking of my esteemed guests, let me greet you all. I see Sister Tanisha Murdoch over here. B. Mosby's in the building. Sakina Collins, Dad Miller TV. Latravia Lawson, Mrs. L in here. Salute to you and your husband. Kermit S. Wingfield, my battle buddy. ATLN _ 007, Theater of the Absurd. Shakir Carlin 2 stars. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Only Pamela's way. Sister Stern Zed is in the building. Smooth T Mac. E Prince. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Diesel Mike. I see you, good brother. Let's see. Charlie X is in here. All right. I think I'm not missing anyone. I want to make sure. I see Matrice 03 in the building. I see Josh Norris. Let's see. Making sure I'm not missing anybody. My first sergeant, some chick named Stars in here. Let's see. Jason Ferreira, Derek Parker, and I think that's everybody. And Foodophilia, of course. So salute and welcome to all of you and anybody be joining us in Intensity tonight. Yeah. Look, we gonna wave some sage in the air and you know, see if we can get this crooked wig syndrome out the building. But in addition to that, we've got to remind you all, and I know, cover your eyes. I mean, ladies, this is not going to be the most attractive specimen of male to look at, but we got to deal with what this Latino said. So we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Sometimes I say shit I've been saying for years. And the shit just go, you believe Fat Joe said hip hop was Puerto Rican and black? Whoa!
For those that don't remember, this is Goofball Math Hopper. By the way, he's gone broke now and he's having podcast issues. Yes, Math Hopper, I'm talking about the situation because that's exactly what you said it was. So this is a room full of tethers in here with Whack Joe. And see, I got to go here for this type of tether, okay? Whether they come to the African Caribbean and even the Sambos from our lineage, very few would do this. They have this thing where if any white person or white adjacent person, like Fat Joe here, Snack Joe, whatever you want to call him, come in a room, they just sit down and let them get away with bloody murder as far as disrespect, okay? But there's a reason for that, because if they're not of our lineage, they don't respect the culture like we do because it's ours. See, if you just look, think of it this way before I let this continue. For those of you that don't remember this, because I got to refresh your memory. Think of it in our culture as if it's your car, okay? If it's a car that belongs to you. You make the payments on it, you bought it, whatever, okay? Pay the insurance, all of that, registration, all of it. You let somebody borrow your car that don't have to pay nothing for it. They drive your car any kind of way, run it into shit, get things and bumps and bruises on it, even wreck the car. They cool. It ain't their car. It don't cost them nothing unless you take it out their ass. You understand? So, I mean, that's how they treat our culture, man. Yeah, they enjoy it. They want to get in and drive reckless and fuck it up all over the place like they've done with a lot of this bullshit we see in hip-hop and R&B today. And then, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to get checked on it, they look retarded. So, yeah, we know that's exactly how I look at it. So we're going to let it continue from here.
My God, the world changed on me, nigga. I'm like, yo.
No, you know what?
Where you been?
Let's get into that. Because I think people outside of New York, it's hard for them to understand.
Salute to Mrs. L and family for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good sister. And see, here we go with that. The people from outside of New York narrative. Now, salute to my good brother Tariq Nasheed for dropping Microphone Check. If you haven't seen that documentary, go and purchase that either from the website, microphonecheck.com, or from Amazon. Great documentary that walks you down chapter and verse from the actual pioneers of hip hop, how it got started. And a lot of people that's trying to argue with that documentary, let me tell you something, man. That's like you going to the Mercedes-Benz manufacturing plant and trying to argue with them that you know more about the product that they create. Huh? Come on now. You know how silly you would look doing that. So for any tether that argue with us about the origins of anything in our culture, that's how you look. The manufacturers and the creators, you a consumer of it, and you're going to tell the manufacturers you know more about the product than they do. Absolutely asinine. So this whole, if you wasn't from New York, you don't know thing. No. We shut all that bullshit down. So again, y'all want to know the whole story on that in detail? Go grab Microphone Check, the DVD and documentary. So let it continue.
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Trinidadians, Jamaicans, Guyanese.
First of all, let's start by this.
Around each other.
Let's start by this. These rumors were made by radical black racists.
Now, I'm doing this for a reason. Remember, this is what this little old alabaster son of a bitch had called us, radical black racists. First of all, you little peanut head fucker, you, okay? White boy, white Hispanic, call you what you are, because that's what you classified as. You must understand what racism is. And if you did understand what racism was, you would know how stupid you sound saying that we're radical black racists. So let's go ahead, because we already know the definition of racism. I don't really have to go through that. Unless it's a younger person in the chat that would like me to explain it, feel free to say so, and I will do that. Because I welcome young people over here asking questions. If you're over here, there's a place for you to learn and fellowship. Brothers respect the sisters, sisters respect the brothers, okay? So unless a younger person in the chat room asks me to break down the racism definition, I will continue forward. Now, the problem that I have when you start calling us radical black racists when you're a guest in our culture is, first of all, we're radical because we won't let you come in our cultural house and just kick your muddy feet on our couch and on our carpet. So if we check you and grab you by the back of your neck and throw you the fuck out the house, now we're radical all of a sudden. Well, see, the question that I would have posed when he said this, and I've already covered this, so we just refreshing everybody's memory. If we were to jump in your culture, things that they created, and then disrespect them and start looking like we calling shots or acting like we calling shots, and then we call them radical because they check us, boy, they would cry bloody murder. They wouldn't stand for that. They wouldn't stand for that. And see, look, I got to say something here because this little fucker here is from New York. You know, up there, the Puerto Ricans and all that, and then I got to do it. Out West Coast, you got some Sambo-ass niggas chasing that little taco tank snatch out there, running around trying to be cool with them, and then they done fucked around and didn't take care of their resources when they were making money and didn't buy up the record companies and the radio stations out there so they would have that on lock. They kiss ass because they want them Hispanic program directors to play their music. That's why you don't see a lot of them stand up to the motherfuckers on the West Coast. Got to tell it like it is, man. And then on top of that, chasing taco snatch, because I got the ladies at the feet of most of the men. They sit there and let the motherfuckers come around them saying the N-word. Some, not all, but it's enough to be a problem whether it's on the West Coast or in New York. Okay? Like I said, I love my brother Kendrick Lamar to life, but that whoever his name is, Left the Gunplay, the Hispanic dude on the album talking about nigga, it ain't no form of it that's ever been acceptable here in the South. That's one thing we hold the line on. Don't care how cool you are. You're not going to point to no record and say, hey, so-and-so let a white boy on there and he said nigga. No, we don't. No. That will not fly down here. Okay? That's something right there that we held the line on, and this is why I keep saying it. No matter what shit people talk about the South, it's going to take the South, the origins of a lot of this, to straighten a lot of this shit out. To be honest, we just got to call it what it is. People ain't got to like it, but it's the truth. Okay? Shout out to the brothers in California and New York that don't tolerate that shit. But again, it's become a problem to the point that you produce a Fat Joe. You don't get a Fat Joe unless you got off-code people co-signing this shit to the point that he can walk around and be comfortable saying it. Okay, now we understand the demographics of New York has become Tether Central. And when you get out, you know what I'm saying, to the West Coast, you see our brothers and sisters over there in California, like now, 6-7% of the population, you know, hey, they just run amok saying all kind of shit in certain areas. But then again, they know who not to bring that around. Now, when they start coming to Texas, you start getting down to New Orleans, Alabama, the Silk, Mississippi, South Carolina, Georgia, hey, all that shit's down. What you say? The record stop. Hey, y'all know that the record stop sign? Like, what the fuck you saying? Hey, we don't do that over here, player. Now, wherever you from, you better take that back up there. We don't get down like that. You ain't got no bitch we want to fuck that bad. You know what I'm saying? Shit, the women down here ain't gonna be cool enough with none of your homegirls to let you say it. Nah, you better take that shit back where you come from. Radical black racists. Let me tell young people something right now. Don't you ever be ashamed or afraid to make people respect your culture. This is your birthright. This is your cultural house. You can't go to other people's culture and disrespect them without the men and the women checking you. So foundational black American freedmen, we deserve to be respected no less. It's not up for debate. I want young black men and women to become accustomed to telling people these are the rules and you will respect them. It ain't up for debate. Somebody come in your house, it ain't nowhere you can kind of follow this rule or you can kind of follow this if you don't fit. Nah, hey man, these the rules. This is what you gonna respect if you gonna be a guest in this house. If not, you gonna get the fuck out. And I ain't gonna argue with you if I tell you to get the fuck out. I will make sure that you leave. You can leave the easy way or the hard way. But just know that, you know, when it comes to your cultural house, you draw boundaries because these people have their boundaries in their culture. You don't let people treat your culture like it's a joke, okay? We shouldn't have never done that. We got let people get too comfortable. People start making excuses for people because they did something for them. And see, let me say this to these old niggas. Now that I've addressed the young folks. To you old niggas, man. Because I know how a lot of this cultural off-code behavior got started. You will have somebody, whether it's a white person, Hispanic person, whoever, Asian, they'll do one of these old niggas a favor. And instead of them just saying, okay, cool, that was a good look, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Square them up if you need to square them up. If it was something where you owe them something. They won't just do that. You do a nigga a favor one time, now they like an old loyal hound dog. You're also boss. So when somebody check one of these motherfuckers that have done them a favor, whatever the favor may be, you come out like a little Sambo raccoon guard dog. Anytime somebody be like, hey man, don't let that motherfucker say nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how they come out, man. In full Sambo attack dog mode. They're like, hey man, hey, now you sure you want to down that hill, bro? Cause now if it get to a point we got to treat you like them, well then you not one of us no more. You might have our lineage, our bloodline, but see, this culture off cold bullshit, hell no. This is far deeper than just arguing over entertainment. Once you let people start to disrespect any aspect of your culture, they don't stop there. That shit keeps going. You understand? To the point it migrates over into the political space. We've seen that. Okay. Then it starts migrating into the medical field, how they treat your children, all of that. Making people respect you, like the old saying goes, you teach people how to treat you, it's far deeper than just entertainment. Because a lot of people will try to trivialize it. Man, what it matter? It's just entertainment. Say that about any part of your culture. Go tell that to the Jewish community. Don't nobody say that to them. You notice that? So what I implore the old niggas to do, and I know it's too late for a lot of you, but have some fucking self-respect. Start looking at the optics. If you don't have no self-respect for yourself, start thinking about how this looks when your old ass sit up here and you allow a disrespectful son of a bitch like Fat Joe to come around us and just disrespect us like you a shot calling the culture. See, let me tell y'all something, man. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you like them or not. Back in the 90s, he would never have tried this shit. When you had Suge Knight and other folks running around out here, man, boy, the J Princes and all of that, whether you like them or don't, that shit was kept in check. Oh, no. You didn't have none of them. See, look, let me say something, man, to the younger people again. Go back and study the 90s culture and ask some of your Gen X relatives, you know what I'm saying, that was around about how different things were. You didn't see none of this going on back then, and there was a reason for it, because they know they would have been checked very heavily. Like, hey, man, what you say? Yo, look, let me tell you something, man. It's a reason why you heard old Vanilla Ice got dangled out a window for disrespecting folks, and then you go back and look at that old group called Third Base, bunch of white boys and shit, the whack ass. I remember when they got started, I didn't respect them either. They ran around calling themselves trying to disrespect MC Hammer, and see what a lot of people don't know about Hammer. Hammer beat your motherfucking ass, okay? I'm telling you that right now. Met the dude, cool brother. Don't try that man. He will fuck you up. You hear me? And not only that, if he don't fuck you up, people have a lot of respect for him because he did a lot for his community. Regardless of any little jokes people make, Hammer, even if it wasn't advised, so he was the type of brother where he looked out for people a little too much and it cost him. Now, he's straight today. He got his paper straight today and all of that. But Hammer damn near went broke, helping a lot of ungrateful motherfuckers, man. And, you know, fortunately for him, there's a lot more people that respect Hammer than don't. So, again, you go back to the 3 components of power that I teach y'all about, okay? You got money, respect, all right, and information. Now, respect, that's a currency, man, that gets you through doors that money can't buy. So if you start talking about somebody that had that kind of respect in their community, they don't have to tell nobody to do nothing to you. Somebody just may bust you upside your fucking head, man. You think about somebody that's actually did things for people's community to the point where it was in a clutch manner where they needed that person to come through and they didn't know what they was going to do. You start disrespecting brothers and sisters like that, somebody going to touch you, and they ain't even got to ask nobody to do it. And Third Base found out the hard way to the point they apologized like the bitches that they were, and they ain't never said another crossword about him again. Now that you can look up and take to the bank. And see, what happened was as time progressed, we got away from gatekeeping the culture like that till we started letting these little newcomers like your Tekashi Bitch 9, Snitch 9, whatever you want to call him, and a lot of these other little goofballs that's not of our lineage come in and start critiquing our legends. Let me tell you something, man. Just because you doing what we do and you against the culture, that don't mean you will ever have the rank to critique nobody. That's something that I point to as the beginning of a lot of disrespect. People should have been like, hey man, listen, and I don't care whether it's West Coast, East Coast, North, South, Midwest, every foundational Black American freedman should have pointed to these individuals that tried that, be like, hey man, we don't tolerate that. Nah, you are a guest. You don't talk about none of the pioneers in this culture at all. But see, what ended up happening was, now I got to take this back to some of our fault before I let this continue. When you have your icons and your legends or what have you out here in the game, and you don't take care of them to the point that they don't have to go to other people to get book for shows or, get other people to, you know what I'm saying, like buy things or whatever and support them. Then you have these other culture vultures like Fat Joe. They'll see that and they'll go shoot them a little bread. And now this is where you get your soundbows coming out swinging and defending them, even when the majority of your community is saying, hey, this motherfucker's a problem. He off code, he or she. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to make it make sense for some of the younger people, but we're going to let it continue. Just refreshing everybody's memory because we got a couple more things to get to here tonight.
Let's just say that, okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
See, and again, we've corrected him on that. It's Foundational Black American Freedmen, if you want to be totally correct. Because that lets you know that, again, they're listening to everybody's broadcast over here. You see how he got that mixed up with another brother over here in New Black Media, the Black Authority, okay? So here's the thing, right? And he was taking little shots at Tariq or what have you, but see, this is what I don't like. When your bitch ass come from a fleeing culture, okay? When you don't have 8 grandparents here rooted in this soil of our homeland here, if all 8 of your grandparents ain't rooted here and you had to come from somewhere else, who the fuck you calling broke, boy? If it wasn't for you being the equivalent of a damn tick, and a tick is a parasite, if it wasn't the equivalent of these tethers being ticks and parasites leeching off of us, you wouldn't have any money. See, let's talk real. Do you ever notice that, okay, if you have such an issue with us, then go do Hispanic and Latin music. See if you can become a multimillionaire off of that and sell records worldwide. Please try that. Please go back and try to do Caribbean music or continental African music, whatever the case may be, Asian music, Arab music, whatever it is. Go do that alone and just emulate your people's culture and see if you can catch up. Yes, I'm saying catch up because see, when we need to correct this the way it need to be corrected. Go see if you can get your culture on the same level as the culture that you parasiting and leeching off of. Don't use none of our slang, none of our lingo. Don't dress like us. Don't nothing. Go do your shit and see if you can get it on a globally recognized level the way Foundational Black American Freedmen culture is across the board. Music, fashion, food, everything. Let's see if you can catch up. I guarantee you none of them won't take me up on that challenge. Please, man, look, how many of y'all think that they will be able to do it? No disrespect. We just got to call it out for what it is. How many of you in my chat room here think that if these disrespectful ones, I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about the disrespectful ones, how many of y'all think that if they had to just drop all aspects of our culture that they emulating and go do what their culture is, how many of y'all think they could catch up? Just honest question. I am being completely serious and in good faith when I ask that. And look, let me add something else into the question I'm asking. How long do you think it would take them to catch up? Because we've been the global culture now for many, many decades, huh? If you really want to be honest, this was even before hip hop. Hip hop just accelerated to an international level. But even before hip hop had a formal name, you can look at other aspects of our culture, be it jazz, the blues, etc., rock and roll. The white folks had to leech onto that and try to claim that they invented it. Really? Man, everybody started emulating us, man. So this ain't new, man. Hip hop just took it to an international level. And by there, this is where you start having other people go back and say, oh, okay, this is a part of their culture. Let me discover jazz. Let me get into rock, etc. They start going through all aspects of our culture musically. Then that leads to the language, social trends, social norms, customs, etc. Okay, down to the fashion. So, I'm just saying, man, I would love for them to try to catch up to where we are. Look, why not do this? Boy, hey, shout out to Sister One in Spot. She came up with an idea. She said, we need to have a cultural Olympics. Why not do that? For those that are so disrespectful of us and you say we don't have a culture, all right, cool, bet. Let's get our cultural Olympics on. You go do your shit. We gonna continue to do us, and let's see who come out on top, globally. And the tale of the tape would be, let's see if you can do whatever aspect of your culture is that you consider great and get it to the level where everybody around the world is trying to talk like you, dress like you, look like you, etc., etc. In parts of the world where none of your people are, by and large, unless they passing through. That would tell the tape, but I doubt we'll ever see them take us up on that, because one of the things about Parasites like Fat Joe, they don't have any natural talent. Look, let me just go ahead and really tell you what the likes of Fat Joe is. Fat Joe is the little kid, you know what I'm saying? And let me see a way to say this, because I don't want to say it in such a callous way. Let me put it this way. Fat Joe is the equivalent of somebody that has no talent on a team, and when the main people that have the talent get trophies and rewards, you the person that people give the little participation medal to. That's what you are. The little engine that could, well, we don't want them to feel left out. Give the little baby some. That's what you are. You know what I'm saying? You the little motherfucker there that you get second place all the time. Little participation ribbon. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, look, if you were to sit him in front of a room and somebody say, hey, man, right now, are you really going to look everybody, your peers, in the face and say you on equivalent level with the likes of a DMX, even some of the youngsters? Are you really going to say that? Remember that versus, you know what I'm saying? When he came out there and talking about he was trying to go against Ja Rule, like, really? Just lame to be damned. And you know what he kind of remind me of? He remind me of a bald head version of Peter Griffin, lying motherfucker. Always got some tall tale to tell. I've been caught up in several lies over the years. So again, like I said, you looked at as a joke, and then you become bold enough to disrespect us. But see, he won't tell you about the times that he's come down south here and folks have pressed this punk ass. See, he one of them people where he'll talk tough when he get out of danger and shit and spin these tall tales. But then you start asking other people that have seen him get pressed when he's been in certain areas down here in the south. Oh, he ain't gonna talk about that. Boy, I could do a whole broadcast on that. Y'all just don't understand. But anyway, we'll cover that another time. Let's let it continue.
I'm just keeping it a buck. And that shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York. Right. So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro. Far as I know, we're at Yankee Stadium right now, and it's hip hop's 50th birthday. And the guy who invented it, Grandmaster Flash, my brother carried his crates. My babysitters made up the, let me hear you say, ho. It's two girls, twins, used to babysit me. They made up, let me hear you say, ho. So they have a big problem.
First of all, we correct that lie about the person that created hip hop. No. Then you telling this tall tale about your babysitters came up with that callback. And then the ultimate tale with a fat fucker like him, because I got to see it. The Latinos, okay, the ones that are Latinos amongst that community, one of their main tales, them motherfuckers is always lying. Come on, man, can we just tell the truth? I know it's a stereotype, but it's one that a lot of them tend to live up to. They're always lying. Always lying. This hence me coining the term Latino. That's what they do. What the fuck does you, even if that was true, one of your kinfolks carrying somebody's crates mean? Do you know how many straws you have to reach at to point out that somebody you related to carried somebody's crates? So what the fuck is that supposed to mean? That's like you saying, okay, if you somebody that's working on a crew of people that's building a house, okay, and you the person that, hey, you pick up one brick and hand it to somebody and you don't do nothing else. Hey, we all built the house. No, you picked up one brick and handed it to somebody and you sat there and watched the house be built. And then after all the work was done, yeah, we did it. Really? Fat son of a bitch, man. I hate people like this, man. Yes, I use the term hate. I am not somebody that shies away from that term. Sometimes it's good to hate shit. I don't hate motherfuckers that disrespect our culture. I'm not one of these forgiving people that will, you know, I kind of like this stuff. No, fuck all of that. You disrespect me and my people, it's fuck you for life. It's always up. You understand? That's where I'm at with it. More of our people now are starting to get to that point. Because I remember in the early days of delineation, some people really said I go too hard. Oh boy, you doing too much. Now you see a lot more people sounding like me, and it's about damn time. If you see that you have a breach in any type of structure or security, you know what I'm saying, like set up, you have to fix that, man. You can't just ignore that. That has to be dealt with. And these Tether parasites have been a security breach for quite some time. But damn it, better late than never. Delineation was one of the best things that ever happened to my people. Let's let it continue.
Problem, these guys, right? So they're against anybody who ain't with them. So this ain't a popular message. This ain't what everybody's saying. We might be giving them too much light right here is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
So there's a small minority to get on them Twitters and they running it up. We got a fucking Looney Tune like your man Lord Jamal, who's a fucking Looney Tune. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's a loony bin, right? We just said that the
salute to TL for the cash out. Thank you very much. Now, see, this goes into what I was telling y'all about that disrespecting icons in our culture. I get it. Lord Jamar have said a couple of things. You know, he into the flat earth thing. I ain't gonna even start on that. But regardless of anything, even if we had an issue with anybody in our culture that's an icon, let me tell you what the proper way to deal with that is. Because all the older people, you should know this. But for any young foundational Black American freedman, man or woman, okay? How we deal with that, even if it's somebody within our culture that we're talking about or have an issue with, you deal with it the same way as if you had a brother or sister that you got in a fight with. Okay, now y'all can fight all day long till the cows come home. But now if another motherfucker outside your family go put hands on your flesh and blood, oh no, that's a problem. You can't do that. Me and my brother or my cousin, my sister, whoever, we can fight. You better not touch them. That's how we got to get about our culture. I want you to take a good look at this image right here on this screen with this motherfucker with his mouth twisted up, goofball sitting in here and full of shot full of tethers. Nobody got up and walked over there and slapped the dog shit out your mouth. You don't disrespect our people like that. Yes, it's that serious, because I don't want to hear none of that. Well, why you got to get violent? No, man, you don't, because you can't go to none of their countries and be that disrespectful and talk like that and somebody don't slap the shit out you. If not worse. Huh? I know what I'm talking about. That's one thing about it. When you travel, you get a strong sense of what people find cultural pride in their homelands. We can't go to their homelands and talk crazy like this. And rightly so, they wouldn't allow it. You're not supposed to let nobody come in your house and talk crazy like this. Huh? Now, to go to show you for the people that's got the bleeding heart, man, you're going too hard on it, man. I like some of his stuff. Come on, man, cut him a break. Okay. If he had any respect for our culture, do you think he would be talking this way? See, I'm going to give you a guy that I like some of his music back in the day, and I can actually honestly say that I never heard him disrespect our people. White boy, Paul Wall. Now, if he disrespected our culture in any kind of way, I don't know about it. He ain't never done it publicly. Yes, I know he got a black wife. That really don't count for nothing to me. Paul Wall was all right, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never disrespect nobody. I ain't never heard him come out his mouth wrong at none of our icons or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if y'all got information to the contrary, let me know. But I've never heard it. Now there's an example of how if you're going to be against in somebody's culture, man, you show respect, man. You don't sit up in the culture like you one of the big wigs or something, because let Fat Joe tell it. Oh, we wouldn't have nothing. Man, he's made several statements. If it wasn't been for me, you wouldn't have did this. One of the most disrespectful things this bastard said that I heard, and you know me being from Atlanta, This boy tried to claim that Young Dro got shoulder lean from him. I'm like, boy, are you stupid? You ate some bad taco meat. Have you lost your fucking mind? Let me tell you, all of y'all listen to the sound of my voice here. Atlanta, Georgia don't copy nobody. You hear me? You can say that people from other places have come and brought their influence on things, but as far as people originally from here, we don't have to copy nobody, bro. We got our own style, our own particular part of the culture, just like every region of the country. Like when that goofy Nigerian Tether from New York was talking about people down south can't dress. First of all, bitch, you ain't part of our culture. You emulating what you saw when your punk ass got here with that fucked up wig on your head. And as far as talking about folks down south can't dress, baby, let me tell you something. We in a world of our own down here. We don't check in with nobody about what somebody else like. Fuck you and everything you stand for if you don't like it. That's one of the reasons why if you look at the group Outkast, some of y'all might look at Andre 3000 like, man, what the hell he got on? But that brother's artistic sense, it wasn't bound by anything. Then you saw Big Boy, just more player. Then when you look at everybody down here that's known in South, from T.I., you know what I'm saying, to the Goody Mob or whoever you want to name down here. Hey, man, Ludacris, you know what I'm saying? Hey, everybody got their own style. That's not something that we like, oh, my God, what are everybody else going to think? That ain't how we roll down here. You know, I'm quick to check that shit at the door, especially if you're not a part of the damn culture. Bitch, go throw on your damn dashikis and whatever the fuck else your people wear and critique that. Dipping and dabbling in something that you ain't even a part of. You don't even understand nuances of our culture. For people like her and Fat Joe to go running their mouth. So, you know, for me, I'm a bit more hardline on that disrespect than most. Like I said, I love everybody. I have a good time with anybody, but you're not going to disrespect my people, man. We don't put up with that shit for far too long. And that's part of the problem now about straightening this shit out. Because trust me, mark my words, that's going to go away. Let me say it again. That is going to go away. All that disrespecting us on our homes, I'm telling you, that's going to be done. People ain't putting up with that shit like they used to. And see, now that the younger people are starting to see that disrespectful shit, a lot of them, even that, you know, was kind of sleep and, you know, whatever reason it was, interracial or sexual access or whatever the case may be, with their off-code behavior, they starting to say, wait a minute. Hold it. You going a little too far with this shit because, see, one of the main things we going to have to start with, I got to go here. No disrespect to the cool Hispanic people, but that whole black and brown thing, first of all, is not a black and brown. You don't have any politicians advocating for our issues. Black and brown is basically you want us to come together and party together. Anything we get, you supposed to automatically have access to it. I'm pretty sure y'all heard a lot of them Hispanics over there on the West Coast making critiques, talking about black people cutting them out of something. Let me go here where a lot of people was afraid to go. If that was the case, we have the right to exclude people from what we built. I'm going to say it again. We have the right to exclude people from what we built. So if we did decide that you don't belong here no more, tough titty New York City, go do your own thing. How about that? Go build something on your own. You're not entitled to be in somebody's house if you a guest. If they tell you it's time, all right, hey, party over, you got to go home. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. That's what you do. If that was the case, see, people got to start letting them know, man, you're not entitled to get everything we got. Anytime black people get some accolades or praise, you heard them carrying on and bitching about the movie centers. Let me tell you something. Where I went with that, and we gonna do that review. I promise it's coming. But where I went with that whole thing when I saw them critiquing centers, I said, hold up. You do have representation. You classified as white, remember? So, hey, man, when you see Remick, that's you. Because you basically the equivalent of a Remick. You a parasite, too, okay? And you claim, you know, this 3-card Monday shit, you say that you Taino Indians and Native Americans. Okay, well, it was some Native Americans in the beginning. You were represented. We got to break the back of that black and brown bullshit. That's got to stop. And one way you start with that, you start at the thing that matters most. Hey, if it's black and brown, why none of your politicians ever advocate for anything that we need? Why come when anything happen to Foundation of Black American Freedmen, we don't see you the first ones out there on Telemundo and everything. Hey, man, what they did to these black folks, that's not right. These are black brothers and sisters now, black and brown coalition. Whatever you do to them, we gonna speak up about it. Why you don't ever see that? See, I don't pull that. Well, because I'm trying to lay up with a Hispanic woman or we parted together, so we cool. No, fuck all that, nigga. I don't put none of that shit ahead of what really matters with our people. And no responsible black man or woman does that from our lineage. If you gonna say that it's black and brown, then it's got to be blood in and blood out. And I have not seen that. Because the truth be told, fat hoe, and everybody else like you from that particular Latino community, what have you ever done to really repay us for us fighting for your punk asses to be able to come up here? Oh, I'm going there. You damn right. And that go for every other group. I ain't just picking on the Latinos. Oh, no. Every other immigrant group that's over here. What the fuck have you done to repay us for the Civil Rights Act and the Immigration Act to allow you to come over here? What have you done? You don't benefit my people no type of way by and large. No, you don't. And here's the crazy thing that a lot of people are ashamed to say. I'm not. I'll take it. Look, I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for no other member of New Black Media. I'm going to be the one to say it, goddammit. If you call being a leech of our culture a benefit, you really ain't worth two dead flies put together. How you going to claim that us allowing you to be leeches of our culture benefits us? Really? All a tick does is drain from its host. It doesn't strengthen its host, it weakens its host. Then you get a cluster of ticks, now the host is really in trouble. We don't want no more ticks, okay? We're done. we parasite free, delineation time. You gonna learn to like it. It's time for you to pull your own weight. Stop crying and go be great. Hey, if you feel like we exclude you from something, get off your Latino ass, get together with your people, all this proud culture you got, you swinging foreign flags while you here in America, get together and do some shit from your own culture. Do that. Then you won't have to worry about what we exclude you out of. We gonna straighten this shit out over here tonight. Let's let it continue.
Drug of choice is attention. It's this and this and that. They get a guy who, he was a legend, he's brand Nubian.
Right.
And he's the wackest nigga in the crew, be clear. But now,
how's a nigga that don't have no lyrical cadence or no microphone skills whatsoever gonna call somebody the wackest nigga in the crew? And they sit here and let him use that word. Or what I wouldn't give to be able to transport this whole scenario to the South in my state. Woo! I wish he would come into a black barbershop down here and try to have this discussion. I want you to keep that same energy with that same disrespectful tone, and boy, you'll get more than a haircut coming up out of there. I promise you that. Oh, no. We don't play them kinds of games down here. You look, let me tell you something. We got Hispanics down here. They are very humble. I promise you that. They are very humble. Oh, yeah. They humble even when they around the white folks. They know better. They're like, all right, now. Hey, you know where you at now. you come on now. The Jorge, Esmeralda. All right, don't get fucked up now. Don't let these folks. Look, let me tell you something, dog. I remember, seeing some of them down here, man, where, they fuck around when they get around on white folks, and white folks be done pump their head up and say all kind of fucked up shit about black people. I seen some of them grab their own and be like, hey, no, ciudadano, senor, no, chavo, no. I like, yeah, you better get him. He's like, don't, hey, all right, now, you fuck around and get too jazzed at your mouth. Now, some of us speak Spanish down here very fluently. We know what you're saying, player. Hey, don't get fucked up, pendejo. You better watch it. They get to looking crazy if you really start speaking fluent Spanish to them other than just bits and pieces. They start looking retarded and they watch their mouth. Then that's when they'll just go ahead and start speaking English around you. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I got to be honest, they don't really get disrespectful like that down here too tough. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what the consequence is going to be if you were to try that. We're going to regulate that shit real quick, okay? We don't believe in letting shit fester and get out of hand down here. We ain't got that kind of tolerance because, see, let me explain something to you about the South in general. Not just Georgia, but the South in general. The reason why we don't really tolerate disrespect is because we treat everybody with love, man. We treat everybody like we said with grandmother's love down here, man. We treat you good, man. All we ask is that you don't disrespect us, man. You know what I'm saying? You got people down here, black brothers and sisters, Marlena, they give you the shirt off their back. Anybody, treat you good down here, bro. But you're not going to come down here and shit on us and then think that, you know, that Southern hospitality can't turn in the other direction real quick. A lot of people have found it out the hard way. Let's let it continue.
This nigga might be like trying to get lit, trying to say anything. The world's flat, the this, that, anything to go viral. I just told you I stopped my shit because I go too viral. I'm scared. I'm too viral.
Right. I think we in the information era, and some people just they see so many paths, they decide to pick one, and some of them ain't the most popular one. So, you know, they just.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that this opinion comes from a tribe.
Right.
It comes from a group of people that hate everybody but them. You know this rap.
We're going to stop that shit too. This whole comes from a tribe or a group of people that hate everybody. You know, see, first of all, don't let nobody gaslight you like that. If you check somebody for being disrespectful, they ain't got shit to do with hate. If anything, you turn that shit around like, no, I got to check you because you being hateful and disrespectful towards my people. We're not obligated to let people disrespect us. We're not. None of us are obligated to let people disrespect us. We're not, family. Don't any of y'all ever put up with that bullshit and let somebody try to gaslight you as if you tolerating disrespect is hateful. Not tolerating is considered hateful. Hell no. No. Because nobody else is going to let you do that in their culture and in their country. Let's let it continue.
Radical Jews, there's radical Catholics, there's radical Puerto Ricans.
Right.
There's radical.
Do me a favor, Sloppy Joe. Go talk that way to the radical Jews then. I bet you won't. Notice they don't ever do this with any of these other groups that he named, too. I ain't seen him go and tell the Asian people that. You know what I'm saying? He damn sure ain't gonna go to his community and no disrespect none of them. None of them disrespect their own community. Notice that they have the utmost respect for their people. From J-Lo, talentless ass, yes, I said it, to anybody else. But why is it they always expect us to put up with disrespect? They don't try that with Caribbean folks, continent of Africa. You always think that the people that you've gotten the most from, the people that have done the most for you, you think that you're supposed to just bite the hand that feeds you and we supposed to just be silent about it? No, ain't gonna be no more doing that without the hand busting you upside your head. Yeah, now when you get up and get some sense and act right, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no issue, no problem. But every time you try to be disrespectful, you gonna get checked. Let's let it continue.
Anything. If you do enough of that shit, enough of in-house racism, you wind up looking at the world fucked up and you can't even move around.
Right.
You understand? So that's how this shit come about.
Salute to my good brother Aretta Sensei King for the cash out. But see, let me deal with that bullshit he just said right there. Because see, we gonna handle all of this. First of all, you can move around anywhere in the world if you move with one of the three currencies that I tell you is one of the main three components of power. Again, you have money, respect, and information. Information being the greatest component of power because you must have information to attain and maintain the other two. If you move with the currency of power called respect, though, you can go anywhere in the world. Trust me, I know. Anywhere in the world you go, for the most part, if you go with respect, you ain't gonna really have too many problems with nobody. Not saying that things could never come your way, but for the most part, if you come somewhere as a visitor to somebody else's nation, unless they just don't like your people, and you go in respect, they're gonna give it to you in return. Okay, you're not gonna have no issues, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, when you say you can't move around the world and ain't talking about racism, you don't know what the fuck racism is. You know, but if you moving around the world with respect, you can go anywhere. That will get you through many doors, like I said, that money cannot, you know? So, you know, always try to show people respect first, but you don't let nobody disrespect you. Let's let it continue.
These guys don't like nobody but them. So hey, fuck that, this guy, why, how could he say this? How could he? Bro, have you been to my hood? Do you know where I'm from? You know, we did my brother's funerals. More black people than Spanish people at the funeral sitting next to my mother. Do you know where the fuck I'm from? But you trying to tell us what happened over here. All the legends I know, when I go to the legendary shit, They're all black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And I sit there with them and I'm like, and they don't believe.
Let me go ahead and say something that's going to offend a lot of people. Got to do it. Because I'm probably one of the only people that's going to have the balls to do this, but this is long overdue and I need to say it. It should have been said a long time ago. You don't have no Puerto Rican legends in hip hop that's on par with those that are foundational Black American freedmen. You don't. You don't. You don't. You got some that are talented, sure. But when you start talking about legends, here's another thing. If you from outside of our lineage, you don't get to define no legends in no part of our culture. Not hip hop, not the fashion industry, not nothing. You are a guest. You have no definitive authority to say what something is or not. You don't. A guest don't call shots in nobody's home. A guest is supposed to be humble. You don't run shit as a guest in nobody's culture to be labeling who you think is a legend. Your opinion don't fucking count. You don't have a say. You don't. If anybody thinks what I'm saying is going too far harsh, let me explain something to you. Go over to Japan and get involved in any of their cultural practices and start acting like you a shot caller, you not from their particular culture or one of their countrymen. Go to any Caribbean country, Jamaica, Haiti. Go to any of the 54 African nations. Go to any Latin American country. Start trying to call shots in their culture. Huh? As if you one of them and see if they don't tell you what I said in a lot harsher terms. You don't have a say as a guest in somebody's culture. You sit your fucking ass down and you be humble and respectful and appreciative of people's culture. The minute that you get up to speak out of turn on affairs that you did not, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have a hand in building anything, you don't understand what you're talking about, you basically just trying to pretend to be something that you're not, you out of pocket. And we got to have more men, starting with the men, because the women will follow suit. You got to have more men making that known. You don't have a say. If we sit down to decide who are the greatest top 10 rappers ever, you don't get to contribute to that. You don't. One, because you're not talented. Let's start there. The entry level, even if we're not even talking about lineage, you're not talented enough to sit at no table with no icons and decide what's supposed to be etched in the history of our culture. With what currency can you enter that table and sit at that table and have that discussion, Fat Joe, and anybody else like you? You don't have the credentials or the currency to do it, my boy. See, sometimes you got to stop playing with these people and hurt their fucking feelings with the truth, man. I don't care if as long as it's true. I don't mind hurting your feelings. I ain't got to clean it up. Well, don't say it like that, man. Fuck all of that shit, man. No, you a guest. Sit your ass in the corner and be glad that you allowed to be entered into this culture as a guest. But see, I'm gonna tell you something that I really want to see our culture get to. And a lot of people probably gonna really consider what I'm saying, because I get it right now, definitely even now, even with delineation in full swing, I get right what I'm about to say is gonna sound harsh to some people. If too many of the guests get to acting up and you throwing a party, you kick everybody out the house. Oh yeah, sometimes everybody got to go. Yep. All right, hey, whoever that was that broke that in the corner, ain't nobody gonna tell me who did it. Everybody get the fuck out my house. How about that? That's what you do when you start having unruly house guests. Everybody get out. Anybody gonna tell me who fucked up? Okay, cool. Everybody out. Get the fuck up out of here. We're gonna have to get to that point because, see, you got to start over and reset sometime. Let people prove and earn their way back in with respect, if you allow it at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really wish that we had a homogenous nation like Japan or some of these other countries where they be like, hey, look, you can be a spectator, you can pay to observe things, but it's only so much of our culture we're going to show you, and there's certain things that you just can't be a part of if you're not a part of this particular lineage, or if you're not one of our countrymen. It's certain things that you just not gonna be allowed to partake in. And rightly so. That is exactly how you gatekeep and preserve your culture. You don't give your culture away to any and everybody, and you don't let people say what they say about hip hop. Well, it's for everybody. No, the fuck it's not. That was a mistake we made there. We should have corrected that. Like, hey, you don't tell any other group that no aspect of their culture is for everybody. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. A lot of people probably never thought about it like that until I said that. Let's let it continue.
They don't understand. They don't understand, like, that talk. They're like, yo, what the fuck is this about? Like, they're confused. The pioneers, the Grandmaster Flashes, the Cool Hercs, the Melly Mel's, they're like, yo, we don't know what the fuck these people talking about. Because they on Twitter and they doing a little something, but I don't know what the fuck these people doing. Like, they're confused. They fucked with the wrong nigga. That's the problem. Fat Joe the wrong one. He always been the wrong one. He the Achilles of this shit. He gonna come out with that. So you remember Achilles, they wait for the nigga, they look, is he coming out? Is he coming out? Achilles run out with the sword. Oh my God! They fucked with him. They got him up out the tent. This nigga, they thought, yo, this is the wrong nigga. He don't care. He ain't scared of nobody. He don't give a fuck. He don't care. He got his own money. What the fuck you gonna do to me?
Right.
Like, you fucked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You best leave me alone.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed.
A lot
I remember
has
when
changed.
battle rap was a...
I want you to listen to this tall tale because he sees himself as a fat fucking version of Achilles, okay? A white man, okay, of, Roman, you know what I'm saying, mythology or what have you. He sees himself as Achilles, and you hear him thinking, because he talking about black folks. Again, he won't talk about what happened when he came down here in Atlanta and Georgia. Because several places in the South that he done got pressed down here. Them stories seem to never get told. But see, I know people that were actually present when these things happen. And one of these days, I'm about to get them together and be like, hey, let's talk about that. Because they got proof. They can back up what they say. They're like, remember when this happened to you? And you had to get them folks to escort you up out of here? Oh, nobody don't want to talk about that, huh? He damn sure ain't going to tell you. But we don't mind. Oh, this Achilles talk. You talk that shit up there in New York, you don't do it down here. You ain't running nothing outside of New York, and you ain't running up there, nothing up there, to be honest with you. Man, boy, these motherfuckers get to talking like that. They have these delusions of grandeur in their head, boy. I got to admit it now. If the motherfucker started a comedy routine, that shit would be hilarious. These tall tales this goofy Latino is spinning. Don't none of that shit exist out here in the real world. You can impress these goofball tellers with that shit, but you don't get no respect from the greater majority of the foundation of the Black American Freedmen community. Let it continue.
You have a rap battle, it was a certain way. That is like lawsuits when you lose.
No, you gotta stop.
No, whoa.
I have no comment on that one.
Right.
That's
You
all.
talking 2024?
Took you too long. Took you too long.
2024.
World
Said
changed
2024.
on me.
You should have saw that coming. Took you too long.
World changed on
It's
me.
2024. There's a lot happening out here
All
right
right.
now.
So, Joe,
No comment on that one, though.
You got no comment on
2024.
that.
No, because
So that was the refresher there to remind you of where we're about to go here. Because, see, this brings me to these two Titanic Teletubby tethers right here on the screen, okay? DJ Wackademics, who, by the way, shout out to the good brother Dewan B, he revealed some very interesting information about DJ Snackademics, that his punk ass might be over here illegally. Oh, shout out to Dewan B for that information, because now I'm going to do some research and homework on what he revealed, man. Shout out to that brother. But you got DJ Snackademics, and then his stuttering fat-ass homeboy over here, the Liberian tether Flacco, okay? Yeah, we going here because, see, include DJ Vlad and Adam 22 into this. When you have people that neither of them are from our lineage, two white guys, a Jamaican tether, and a continental African Liberian tether, that position themselves as authorities on anything in our culture, you big fucking goofies, you guess. Who you think that you... They think they shot calling our culture because they gossip about people. And I got to go there, no jumper, basically a fed platform, all right? So many federal agents over there. DJ Vlad, we already know what the deal is with you. Snackademics, I wouldn't be surprised if you in on the same thing. Regardless, you not shot callers in our culture, and shame on, this is why I got to look at those in our lineage. Some of these old goofy ass niggas that if you would have invested in other foundational Black American freedmen, we would have platforms that, because look, let me go here. Whether it's DJ Academics, Flacco, Adam 22, DJ Vlad, everybody that's a rapper that got ready to retire, that's what they should have started doing. They should be the go-to platforms. If they were, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'm going to tell you a person that would definitely qualify to do that after you finish with Rap City. Joe Claire. Come on now. Yeah, Joe Claire, several other people, man, and some of our great icons that, you know, once they wound down their careers and they don't tour as much anymore, what have you, they supposed to got into the media side of the game. Huh? If that had happened, you wouldn't have a Vlad, a Adam, a Academics, or a damn Flacco. Huh? You wouldn't have none of them. You don't have no right to call yourself an authority on our culture. And again, like I said, shame on these goofball ass Negroes that keep going on their platforms and giving them notoriety. Cause like, boy, let me tell you something. Flacco, little goofy stuttering ass, he having little disrespectful moments or what have you, but DJ Academics is the worst one. Because similar to Fat Joe, this motherfucker talk like he's some type of kingpin. Big act. The only thing big about you is your fucking belly, boy. You ain't no big shot caller nowhere. And see, look, this is when they start talking tough. All of them think that when they go and get a firearm, they big somebody now. Boy, you better stay in the little lakes and rivers that you used to. Like TLC used to say, you better stay where you familiar with that shit at. Cause boy, you go try to flex that shit outside of your little cubby hole in your basement, you gonna get your ears stomped together, boy. Ain't nobody playing with your little disrespectful ass. And see, one thing I don't respect about punk ass Snackademics, you fuck nigga you. You always got a shit ton of smoke for women. See, always watch a bitch nigga that's got just so much animosity for women, but when niggas check you in front of your face, you bitch up. You don't have none of that energy. You can't get no respect from somebody like me. Other brothers, man, that's like, hey, man, look, chicks gonna say shit, they run off at the mouth or whatever, and you check them and be done with it. But he be getting boy, he be making threats. Oh, he want to fight chicks and all that. Look, Humpty Dumpty bastard, you got all the smoke in the world for a female, boy, but let a dude check your ass, boy. You quiet. You ain't got nothing to say until you get out from around him. Look, fuck, nigga, we call dudes like that shit eaters down here in the South. You a punk. You ain't got no kind of backbone whatsoever. And you goofball ass niggas from our lineage let this bastard position himself like he's some kind of figure that's to be respected. What the fuck have you ever done of note in our culture? He gained fame and notoriety off that so-called Chirac series that he did, running around cherry picking the worst parts of our culture and talking about that. See, let me get on you so-called gangbanging niggas. I got to get on your asses, especially ones from my lineage, okay? All that bullshit you run around talking about respect this, respect that, to be honest with you, if you were really on your shit like that, he would have got paid a visit a long time ago when he got started early. Both of these motherfuckers. Yeah, that's right. You too, Flacco. That disrespectful shit that y'all have going on, man, if niggas were really about that life, they was supposed to push y'all a long time. Hey, bro, do it again, bro. Do it one more time. We're going to have another kind of conversation with you. We have to come back over here. That's how you handle that shit. Let me tell you something, man. When it comes to straightening and regulating shit, that's where the kid gloves come off at. So if you're going to be out here banging and all of that, man, make sure the culture is respected across the board. You take the, hey, you be like, hey, man, now all that shit you talking about, all this getting in other people's business, trying to start little beefs between people, let something else happen again. See, let me tell you what would send a message to fuckers like that Academics and Vlad and all the rest of them. I'm putting all of them in it. If these dudes got together from whatever cliques and said, hey, man, check this out. If anything happened between so-and-so and so-and-so, and we find out that you was trying to instigate shit, everybody gonna call the truce and come after you. Finna run you up out of here. That's how you shut that shit down. You hear me? But see, when niggas is too busy trying to chase clout and, well, they got a big platform. Motherfucker, you can build a platform. You the talent. See, some of these dudes need to get their self-esteem up, man. I'm talking about people from my lineage that keep going on their platform. You the talent. They wouldn't have no careers if you didn't ever patronize their shit, man. Let them have tethers on their platform. Them talentless motherfuckers. How long do you think they would last if a bunch of Fat Joes and Math Hoffers and all the rest of these goofballs are going on their platform, but none of our lineage, especially our most talented, ever went on their platform? They wouldn't have no careers at all. Think I'm kidding about that? I'm about to prove my point. Let me show you something about why I say it's time to really just excommunicate these tethers from our culture. I'm going to play some shit right here and we're going to stop it and critique it what need be. Let's get into it. Before we do that, I'm even talking about this colonizer right here, fake. Yeah, I call him fake or cake, whatever you want to call him. This motherfucker should have never been allowed into the culture either, okay? Yeah, you had a couple of cool songs or whatever, but we saw that, you got some white supremacist leanings. Because see, anytime that, think about it. You a little mixed white boy. Yes, his dad is LBA, but you didn't grow up here. You was raised in Canada. So you're not really part of the culture. Anytime these little old mixed motherfuckers like him, you kicking it with Hell's Angels, known anti-black racists, hey man, nobody that's foundational black American I know kicking it with no white supremacist groups. So when that shit happened between him and Ross up there, yeah, you told people a lot about you then, player. But see, I'm going to tell you why I'm glad he happened to us. Not just fake, okay? I'm talking about everybody else, all the tilters, the Vlads, the Flacos, the DJ Academics, I'm talking about all of them. I'm glad they happened because sometimes in life, you need to experience certain things to teach you lessons that you never forget. So I'm actually thankful to these motherfuckers because that let us know, hey man, once we clean this up, this shit can't never happen again. Oh, yeah. So I'm thankful for it in that regard. But we're going to get into some other things. Let's get on into it. And yes, this is the face of this motherfucker that you're about to hear speaking. So first of all, before I do that, my pit is not done yet. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Ladies. Oh, ladies, sisters in here, foundational black American freedmen or not. Ladies, I got a question for you. Oh, y'all already saying nope. Y'all must know what I'm about to say. Hold up, ladies. Wait a minute. Now let me ask my question. Y'all know me too well. Ladies, how many of you, if you single, where my single ladies at in here? Come on now, Beyonce song, you know it. Where my single ladies? How many ladies in my chat room that's looking for a good man? Okay? Come on, ladies. Where you at? Don't get shamed. Hey, hold up, Netta J. Hold on. Wait. Why y'all saying no before I ask the question? You don't know what I'm going to say, do you? Do y'all know me that well? Ladies, single ladies, come on now. Let me call some names in here. Hold on. Chris MC, Netta J, Stolen Answers 1526. Hold on, V Mosby. I got to mess with everybody. Tanisha. Hey, my first sergeant, some chick named Stone. Where the ladies at? Come on, y'all. Hey, ladies, Stunzy. Hey, how many of y'all right now, this handsome specimen right here on your screen, how many of y'all would be proud to call this your man? Huh? I would like to know, is there any takers? Because, he might be single, ladies. He got a little paper over there. It ain't much, but he got a little something. He got a few little crumbs rolled together. This boy face look like one of them tribal masks, don't it? Huh? Don't it? Look at this motherfucker. Man, boy, I'm going here because I'm tired of having the kid gloves on with these motherfuckers, man. Every time, Flacco, let me talk to you, dude, because you've been mighty disrespectful to my people. I'm finna give you what you need, and you're going to see why I'm going in on this motherfucker in a minute. Flacco, dude, you a grown-ass man. Whether you Liberian or not. Dude, you run around just like a bum. You don't never have your beard shaped up to look like a grown man. You keep a busted cut. and you look funky to be down, bruh. So, I mean, my thing is, bro, once you start touching a little bit of paper, man, you're supposed to care about your appearance. Why is that a common theme between you tether men? Y'all just don't give a fuck about how your haircut look. You don't try to shape up your beard. You wear the same clothes over and over again. Now, I get it if you like a minimalist lifestyle, no problem there. But I'm like, goddamn, you can't be presentable. That's the shit little kids do, man. You basically a big Humpty Dumpty kid that basically look like you just roll out of bed in the morning. Never mind your stutter. I'm gonna leave that alone. You can't help that. So I ain't gonna even fuck with you about that. Huh? But my thing is, if you gonna be in a position to critique somebody, man, have your personal appearance together. Cause I'm just trying to look. I got to see it though, man. Come on, y'all, ladies. Look, ladies. How about for the culture? Ain't none of y'all gonna give him a chance? Maybe y'all can straighten him out. Cause now one thing I know about Foundation of Black American Freedmen Sisters, y'all can straighten out some niggas that they need to get their shit together. Can y'all take one for the team? Anybody gonna try to straighten him out? Come on, sisters. Where my non-FBA sisters at? Come on, y'all. Don't be cold now. Hold on. Let me do my. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know none of Elvis Presley shit. I don't listen to that bullshit. You know the song though. We know that line. Come on now, y'all don't be. Netta. She's saying note with exclamation points. Now that's one of the sweetest little chocolate women in the chat room here. Come on. Damn, Netta, you could get him together. Ain't none of y'all gonna take a chance on this dude, man. Ladies, boy, y'all being extra cold-hearted tonight over here. That ain't cool, man. Damn, Chris MC say we good. And for those of you that don't know, I ain't gonna tell on all of them, but there are some very attractive women in my chat room. They know who they are. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen. Damn, Flacco, the women ain't feeling you over here, brother. Damn, homie, you little ink and trouble, mask face looking motherfucker. Anyway, we're going to leave him alone for now and get into some things that he has to say about what's going on in our culture. And I think y'all can kind of see what the issues and problems that I have with this bastard here. Let's let it continue.
Fat Joe is pissing off black people again. He's already back in more controversy, and black folks haven't forgot about the first.
Okay, I lied. Let me get back in on it one more time for you, because this bullshit he talking about. You see that hairline, crunchy to be down. Shit just look peasy. Flacco, brother, if you gonna be on camera, when you get your punk ass up in the morning, get a brush in your hand, boy. You a grown ass man, dude. Pick a fucking brush up. A brush, you big ham hock hand bastard, you. You can't tell me you that fucking lazy to put a brush in your hand and run it across your head a couple of times. I shouldn't be able to see your hair looking peasy on screen like that. That's a goddamn shame, man, a grown man running around like that. Anyway, let him get started. I'm sorry, man. I got to do it.
Controversy when Fat Joe called foundationally black Americans broke and dusty.
Foundational black Americans, you stuttering bastard, you.
This time around, the new controversy is centered around his new podcast with Jadakiss. While explaining why he started this new podcast with Jadakiss, Fat Joe decided he was going to take shots or take aim at the current state of hip-hop media, which is comprised of mainly black folks. Fat Joe decided he was going to take the place of authority in hip-hop media when discussing with Jada why he started a podcast. Fat Joe said he started a podcast because people like him deserve to have an opinion, and people like him is who the people need to listen to. And if you've never had a hit record and you've never done nothing in hip-hop, you shouldn't have an opinion. Listen, bro, if the bar is now, if you've never had a hit record, and a hit record is very subjective, because some people will say, if you had a song reach number 90 on the top 100 charts, that's not a hit record. So what are we talking about? If you've never had a top 40 hit, you can't speak on hip-hop. To me, that right there is a bar that's going to destroy this entire industry that Fat Joe is now entering into. That's not smart at all. But also, too, even saying that isn't smart for Fat Joe, because currently, due to Fat Joe's previous comments about foundationally black Americans calling him dirty and broke, Fat Joe's placement in hip-hop is currently at stake, right? People is currently trying to figure out, is Fat Joe a hip-hop legend?
Just Let me stop you right there, Fat Boy Flacco, okay? Fucking hands look like bear claws, man. Fat bastard. You know that's a damn shame when your fingers look like steak fries, man. Man, come on, man. You take some of the little bread you making, man. Get you a personal trainer. That's for your own health, man. All jokes aside, man. Get that shit off you, man. Running around here, man, with them goddamn Teletubby ass thighs, man. Big fat fucker you. But see, let me correct you on something, Flacco. It's not up for debate Fat Joe's position in hip hop. He don't have a position in hip hop. It ain't nobody talking about is he a legend or not. Hell no. How? He don't have no fucking talent. Last time I checked, to be a legend in anything, you have to have talent and you have to be exceptional to the point that your peers say, you know what? This the dude right here. This the guy that set the standard. This the guy that we want to be like and we respect them. That's what it takes for you to be a legend in anything. Football, basketball, whatever the case may be. I don't care if it's a profession that you in order for you to be considered of high esteem and high stature, people have to look at your body of work. You have to be consistent with it. And people have to say, okay, if I'm going to reach the heights of what's exceptional in this particular industry, sport, whatever, that's the person I want to be like. Okay. Where the fuck does Fat Joe fit that criteria? So no, Tether boy, that's not up for debate. Let's just go ahead and correct you there. Let's let it continue.
Everybody, what's going to make the difference with the Joe and Jada podcast?
Authenticity.
Jada Kiss, brother, I fuck with you, but I got to get on you too. Boy, you little Ninja Turtle looking motherfucker, you. First of all, Jada Kiss, as talented as you are, when you see the disrespect that Fat Joe has levied towards hip hop and our people, okay? You have the nerve and the audacity to let him put his name above yours? Jada Kiss, man. Black men, period. Let me talk to my brothers from my lineage. Have some fucking self-esteem, man. You don't do no podcast with this son of a bitch and let him put his name above yours, Joe and Jada. The less talented lyricist puts his name above yours as if he's got more notoriety and more talent than you. Are you serious, nigga? Jada, what's going on, man? That shit make New York look bad, man. Come on, dog. You part of the Locks, one of the greatest hip-hop groups of all time, man. Hell, the Locks, you got to be honest with you. Can put them right up there alongside the Wu-Tang Clan, to be honest with you, man. Huh? If we talking about lyrical talent, the heartbeat of New York. When you think the heartbeat of New York, how you don't say the Locks, man, as one of the groups that be like, okay, if I had to pick a group from New York that's of our lineage that represent what New York is all about, you gonna tell me it ain't the Locks? And you let this son of a bitch here put his name above yours? Are you serious? See, that's how serious I take it. A talentless bastard that leech off everybody's shit. Look at him, Fat Joe, sitting over there in the corner, looking like a goofy-ass Latino Care Bear. Goofy fucker. And you let this bastard put his name above yours. Come on, Jada Kiss, man. That's sad to start seeing some of our best and brightest go out like this. But, man, I'm going to let this continue. I want you to listen to what he about to say here.
You know what I mean? It got to be an organic conversation, right? We can't ride the wave of what's going on out here. You know what I mean? This ain't that, and that ain't this.
That ain't this.
It's cracking Kiss.
Oh, see, my thing is when you talk about, damn, that's one right there. You know, when you talk about hip hop podcasts, see, I can't salute you if you didn't go and did a show and the promoter beat you for your second half of your money, or you went to a show, the promoter don't want to pay you.
If you haven't been through the farm league
listen,
of what it takes.
Listen, you can't be sitting up here dissecting the albums, and that's the problem we have with rap.
Fat Joe needs to.
Before Teletubby start here, okay, Jada Kiss, brother, you homegrown New York, man. Brother, you know that Fat Joe is full of shit. That motherfucker ain't no tough guy, no streets, nowhere, not even in New York. You know this. So, brother, is your money funny? Did he pay you to sit up there? Because, look, Back in the day, one thing I can say about the 90s that I miss and I wish was still the standard. If you wasn't about that life, wasn't nobody gonna take no bag to sit up and pretend like you was. Not from our lineage. They're like, hey man, if you wasn't out here putting in work, ain't nobody finna pretend like you was, bro. That nah, man. Come on, Jada, cause you know better. You can't tell me that Jada kids don't know that this fat fuck nigga be running around lying and being caught up in silver lies. Come on now. You got his own people like Cuban Link calling him out on a bunch of the lies and several others from his community. And you sit up here as if this motherfucker is on your level as far as doing anything and wants to talk that tough talk. Fat, pudgy, soft motherfucker. Speaking of fat, pudgy, soft motherfuckers, I want you to hear what this one is about to say.
Read the room more. I'm not saying Fat Joe isn't a rap legend. I'm not saying he is. I don't know, all right? Because I haven't really looked at Fat Joe's entire discography, his top 40 hits, his impact. I really haven't given it any thought. But you have to read the room, bro, right? When you're currently in a position where people are looking at you like a vulture, they're looking at you as if you're trying to tether yourself to a particular culture, and they're saying you a guest. But then the first thing you do when you start a platform to speak about things that people believe that you shouldn't even be speaking about in the first place, you start the position of as if you are an authority. Listen, bro, I'm of the mindset, man, if you listen to music, you can critique it. Right? Yo, if you...
Let me stop it right there. I actually agree with that. Yeah, you can critique anything if you partake in it. But like you said, and boy, talk about the plot, the fat pot calling the kettle black. Blacko, you do exactly what Fat Joe do. You call yourself trying to be an authority on something in our culture, and you don't run nothing in our culture. You work for basically a federal informant podcast, no jumper, your punk ass boss, Adam 22, and all the rest of the federal informants over there. Anybody that think that's not that, man, you need your head examined between Adam and Vlad, okay? So you basically similar to Fat Joe, Blacko, but I will agree with you there. Yeah, if you listen to music, you can critique anything, but you can't call no shots in our culture, something that you didn't create. See, this is the thing about tethers like him and Fat Joe too. They act like they don't understand the problem that we have when they start running their mouth on things they don't understand, but start talking about their culture. Oh boy, they know what respect is and boundaries are then. Oh boy, they get all types of hot and bothered when you start talking about their culture and running their shit down. Oh, so don't act like you don't understand the boundaries of respect. And I'm saying that to any one of them. Let's let it continue.
Eat food. You don't have to be a top chef. You don't have to be a 5-star culinary chef to critique the food you eat to know if the food you're eating is good or bad. No, it tastes... Bro, we all have different palates. And that's the same thing with our listening ears, right? Like, yo, if I listen to something, if I'm consuming something, I can have an opinion on whether or not I think that's good or bad. I don't think that I need to get jerked out of money by promoters. I don't think I need to have a top 40 hit, which very few people who ever walked the earth have. So if that's the bar, then just throw away the entire industry, bro. Get rid of it, homie. Like, get rid of it, bro. And we know you dudes who do got top 40 hits or top 20 hits, bro, y'all not about to be consistent, bro. Y'all not about to hop on YouTube and grind it out. Stop it, bro. Yo, and there's a timeline, like there's like a TikTok, a stop clock for how long this podcast is gonna last with Fat Joe and Jadakiss. T.I. had a podcast. That podcast lasted like 3 months, bro. Fat Joe had another venture. That lasted like 2 months. Jada ain't never done this before like that. So when we know y'all not about to be consistent, we know, like, this is not y'all life. So to come in the industry, to come in hip-hop media, and to automatically start chastising the people who lay the groundwork that you're currently walking on, like, to me, is crazy, and it's not reading the room.
Since the beginning, since the source mics and all this, it's like, yo, you ain't even played a game. You see, the reason why we love TNT so much with Chuck and Shaq, these are legends. They played the game. They know the ins and outs. When it comes to Jada and Joe, like, we've been over, we done won, we done had moments, we done had anthems, we know the game, we done got beat by the promoters. You ain't really been real unless they sick pit bulls on you when you try to get your second half of money, or you got to beat up a promoter and take the money in quarters. You know what I'm saying? Or you get kidnapped and out.
Now, Jada, if he did pay you to sit up here and co-sign him, I guess this the part of it where even Jada had to laugh about that. Because Fat Joe, who the fuck you done ever beat up to take something from? By yourself, Who done beat up and took something from? Cause see, let me tell y'all, I know he lying about that, right? If you really that dude like that in anything in our culture, the word gonna spread like, hey man, so and so over there, bro, don't do it. You don't want no problems. We all know who that is in our culture, whether you like them or not. Okay? Even if you talking outside of hip hop, right now, everybody in this chat room, wherever you from in my chat room, you know the people in your area that like, hey, them folks over there, all right, don't go fucking with them folks now. You gonna have all kinds of problems with you do. When you ever been there? And look, cause see, as long as you been a parasite, I'm not gonna say been in the game, cause a parasite ain't in the game. You a fucking leech on a host. That's what you are, Fat Joe. As long as you been a parasite, bro, if you was really that dude, it would be stories about you where people like, hey man, I remember this one time, bro, when dude came through, boy, shit got regulated. In other words, let me make it simple. If you mention somebody like Beanie Siegel, oh, okay, yeah. Shout out to the late great DMX, huh? I'm just naming a few names, whether they here or not. I don't even need to say nothing about how Tupac was, huh? Come on, man. We all know who the people that were about their business in our industry, man. And you trying to say you keep company with them? Huh? Is that what you telling me? See, what this motherfucker wants you to think is he the Latino version of Suge Knight. That's what he wanted to think. Exactly, that Suge, I took the words out of my mouth. He wants us to think that he's the Latino version of Suge Knight. Yeah, that's what he wants us to believe, huh? Brother, if you really about that action like that, people gonna talk about you without you having to say anything. If you got to tell people how much of a threat you are, how great you are you really that great? If ain't nobody else saying it but you, dude, are you really that guy? Come on, man. We all know the answer to that. I'm so sick of these Negroes that sit here and let this fat bastard tell these lies as if he's something culturally relevant to us. If you erase his entire catalog from hip hop, nobody would miss it. If you came before the world right now and said, hey, this part of hip hop is forever gonna be annexed from history. We taking it away from here. You would have nobody in our lineage saying, oh my God, please, no. Oh, how could hip hop survive without Fat Joe? Please don't do it. Oh, boy, that was the soundtrack to my life. I grew up on that. Nobody in our lineage would be like, man, like you can bet that garbage should have never been in the culture. Get that bullshit out of here. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. A fucking talentless Latino bastard sitting up here talking as if anything you've ever done that's not attached to somebody in our culture or Big Pun, rest in peace, is culturally relevant. Greatest running punchline of a joke ever, man. Let's let it continue.
We need our money, right? We need our money. So I'm going to take
my money and I need it now.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get my... So when I see these certain guys commenting, never had a hit record, never had an album, never... I'll be like,
oh, that's funny, bro. Boy, I keep telling y'all my chat room is hell. My first sergeant said, Suge Noche. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, no. Suge Noche. You cold for that? Oh, man, boy. Hey, man, listen, we going to have a ball with this because this bastard had it coming for a long time. Now, all these tellers. Hey, look, see, let me tell y'all something. One of the things why, because this just reminded me of something. I got to try to get through this without laughing. One of the most important aspects of our culture why people hate to be roasted so much our roasting, it actually makes you culturally relevant once enough of us get to clowning you because the label gonna stick. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Hey, Suge Noche going in there now. That's what I'm gonna see, man. You Suge Noche. From now on, that's what you are, man. Let's let it continue. That's hilarious.
Like, to me, they're not qualified. You know,
When they put these mics in front of people, they lose some people just get caught in the moment and say dumb. You know what I mean? And it happens to the best of us.
Imagine the legends that Fat Joe is disrespecting, probably not even realizing he's disrespecting with this take. So Angie Martinez shouldn't be speaking on hip hop, Fat Joe. So Big Boy shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Nadeska shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Jinx shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Now Joe Budden has a hit record, but but Joe Budden record wasn't even gold. Like, it just got gold this year. So by his definition, Joe Budden don't got a hit record. Because Pump It Up just went gold this year. So Fat Joe said, what, Joe Budden shouldn't speak on hip-hop? I don't understand why you would take this adversary stance knowing the position you're in when you just started a podcast. It's not smart at all. People weren't shy to take the social media to voice their opinion of what Fat Joe stated. You can pause the screen to read it all.
Now, here's where I'm going to have an issue with this fucker here, bro. And shout out to my good sister, Adina April. Now, you know, he go, see, he think he's slick. One thing about Flacco, let me tell you why I'm getting on his ass. Because a lot of people are like, man, why you be getting on it, man? He wanted a little passive-aggressive, disrespectful motherfuckers. Because, hell, even over there on Ho Jumper, a.k.a. No Jumper, hell, Wagner had to check his ass about his mouth and a lot of little slick shit he say. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And Flacco, I remember when the little dude spit on you and all you did was talk shit about it. Let me tell y'all something, man. Lord knows my family members can verify this about me and people that know me. If you ever spit on me, you better pray to both heaven and hell for help. Because if I get my hands on you, what I do to you is going to make the news. You won't be able to spit on anybody anymore once I'm finished with you. It ain't nothing. If you do that, ain't no talking. Nigga, Flacco, when the dude spit on you, bro, if you were really about that action, nigga, you would have flipped that table over and got busy. Oh, hell no, nigga. So you gonna spit, nigga? Boy. So like I said, he do this little passive-aggressive shit, and I'm gonna let it play, and you gonna see what I mean about this. Cause some of y'all be like, damn, man, why you getting on here? Nah, passive-aggressive niggas get it too. In fact, you gonna get it the worst. Let's let it continue.
But this is people essentially shaming Jadakiss for doing a podcast with Fat Joe. Like not really understanding how Fat Joe got so confident and arrogant. Them claiming that Fat Joe is absolutely wrong about what he's saying. Them saying that Fat Joe isn't really a part of hip-hop or his music isn't an integral part of hip-hop. One person says, Jadakiss, for the love of you, a D-Block, please leave this clown, referring to Fat Joe. And they would just go off on Jada, man, for a pair.
Yep. Let me say something. I stand on what I say, on and off this microphone. I read you what I said, Flacco or anybody else, if anybody have a problem with it. If Fat Joe, and a lot of you probably remember when I made this tweet, if Fat Joe had any real talent, he'd do a podcast on his own. He knows unless there's a black hip-hop legend for him to parasite off of, no one would tune in to see a whack-ass Latino clown. And I stand on it. I said it, I meant it, and I'm here to represent it. I don't give a damn who have a problem with it. Need more people talking like that, goddammit. We wouldn't have this fucking problem if it was. So I'm going to let him continue with his commentary, and you're going to kind of see the little sneak this he tried to make about us checking this Latino clown here. Let's let it continue.
Barely helping out Fat Joe, who they call a lion Latino. it does have to be said that a lot of these.
So now, I'm going to take a pause real quick. I know, ladies, look, I'm taking this pause to do you ladies a favor before we get back to getting on Fat Boy Flacco here. Are you sure there's no takers in here that, want to kind of get with? Because, I mean, come on, ladies. Going once, going twice, you know what I'm saying? Hey, speak now, forever hold your peace. Are you really going to let this specimen of rolled up ball of cholesterol manhood here get away from you, ladies? Come on, ladies. Y'all speak up now. You gonna miss him. Somebody gonna beat you to him. Sisters, and my dear beloved sisters, are you sure you don't want to have any dealings with this, okay? Now, there might be some issues and problems. It might be a lot of health issues. You're gonna have to do a whole lot of cooking now. Because Big Boy here likes to eat. You don't get a big basketball head to the point where your jaws look like you got balls and nuts in them because he stay gargling on Drake nutsack. Maybe that's Drake's balls stuffed up in his fucking cheeks. But I mean, you're going to have to do a lot of cooking. So sisters, get your cooking skills together. That's going to be necessary, okay? I'm just letting y'all know what comes with this. You're going to have a lot of work to do. Because see, really, Fat Boy Flacco, what you should be critiquing is you need to switch your channel, brother. You need to switch your content. And this will blow up more than hip hop. Because see, I don't hate you, brother. I'm trying to help you. You need to start doing food reviews. Think about it. Fat Boy, if you come on there and start doing reviews of Krispy Kreme donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, just going to restaurants, Flacco's food review channel. That's what you need to do, you big butterball looking bastard, you. Boy, hey, that's your lane. That's what you know about, because you damn sure don't have no expertise on this in the hip hop. You have expertise on food, though. You big chunky face bastard, you. Family, before we get back on this, though, I want to give a reminder to the brothers and sisters in Atlanta that my good brother Raheem Shabazz is going to be doing a book signing. So we're going to take this quick little break, then we're going to get back to roasting on this bastard here.
Hey, it's Raheem Shabazz, and I'm going to be at Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. Join me for an unforgettable book signing and meet and greet. It's your chance to grab your signed copy, snap a photo, and share some great conversations. This Saturday, May 29th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., Nubian Bookstore. I can't wait to meet you there.
Yeah, that's going to be my brother Raheem Shabazz doing a meet and greet and a book signing. And see, Flacco, we know that if you had an event, you wouldn't do a meet and greet. You would do a meet and eat. Hey, right. Hey, right. Hey, right. Hey, yo, look, right. Hey, right. Yeah, that's what you would do. You would do a meet and eat. Boy, hey, like I said, bro, start doing food reviews. That's your lane right there, man. And look, I'm gonna give you some more friendly advice. You better slide away from No Jumper, because I'm telling you, that federal informant organization, there's a lot of bad shit finna happen. I mean, people done already pressed Adam. You done pissed off several gang members up there, the Crips and everything. And I know you think that calling the police solve everything. Let me tell you something, Fat Boy Flacco. You have been in LA long enough now, or been around LA long enough to know that niggas up there really don't give a damn about no police. If you violate certain rules over there, now I get it. You have a low opinion of them guys and all that stuff with the way you talk, but I'm telling you, Fat Boy, you out your element. You think them people gonna protect you? Huh? Especially your boy Adam, because I know you know what I'm saying, your kind, your people tend to worship the white man. You think that he gonna save you, huh? Okay. All right. I'm just saying, man, the food review idea, that probably will help you out, player. That'll probably be the best thing for you to do. But anyway, family, we got to go ahead and thread this needle here, because, see, check this out. I'm going to show you where the passive-aggressive comments come in at, the reason why I have issue with him, because this ain't the only time he's done this bullshit. Let's let it continue.
It has to be said that a lot of these people who are going off on Fat Joe do identify as FBA, or they rep FBA on Twitter, or they do have the FBA in their bio. So a lot of these people are people who already had issues with Fat Joe. So I don't think it will matter exactly what he said. They would have went off on him nonetheless. But this is just Fat Joe opening himself up for more critique.
Let's get something straight, Fat Boy. It ain't going off. It's regulating and setting the cultural record straight. Okay, we're checking his ass. Huh? I caught the little slick passive aggressive shit you were trying to say there. Let me tell you something, man. Our lineage, you don't have to like it. It's not anything we're going to debate with you. You disrespectful tethers are going to start putting some respect on our people's name and the sacrifice and contributions that we made for your asses to flee over here, okay? Let me tell you something, Flacco. One of the problems that you have, a lot of people kind of tolerate you over there with that no jumper shit, and you done been around enough people now where they kind of find you amusing and they let you run your mouth. But I'm telling you, dude, just like Myron Gaines' time is coming, just like, you know what I'm saying, little goofy frog face homeboy Fresh time is coming, your buddy, your idol, DJ Snackademics. I'm telling you, there's gonna come a time where you gonna have to move around and you gonna let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash. Now, do I want anybody to do anything to you? No, I don't. Because you wouldn't get no points for doing it to a fat bastard like this. But what I'm saying is, man, why invite that type of trouble from people that, you know, might not give a damn? Because, you know, the thing about it, he idolized people like Charleston White, etc. And you're going to see what I mean about that in a second, okay? Most of your heroes, and see, this is one thing about you, Tether, before I finish, let him get back on this here. One of the things you notice about most tethers, they idolize other fuck niggas, huh? Your Charleston Whites, your Candace Owens, whoever the fuck nigga in the culture, or adjacent to the culture, should I say. They idolize them. That's a character flaw, man. So for a lot of the people that kind of want to give this pudgy bastard a pass, no. Because if you really, like, if you just pay attention to his X account, sit there disrespecting our people all day long, day in, day out. He don't talk about his people because, bro, you got a lot to talk about. See, they don't like it when you flip the coin, be like, okay, you want to play this game? Let's talk about your homeland, Flacco, do you really want me to go there, brother? Because, it ain't just you I'm talking about. It's a lot of y'all, bro. If somebody just really break shit down and pull up where your homelands are and the biggest problem that you cover that news, I bet you won't. I bet you won't cover what's going on where you from, boy. Come on now. Or they get so angry about it. But I'm like, look, here's the reason why they get angry. For anybody that don't understand that. When you have this shame of where they're from, okay? And then you move to somebody else's country, you tend to like adopt this persona. You think that you are one of us. Because see, this is what I kept telling people in the beginning. I was one of the few people that told folks that just saying Black American was problematic because that includes people that immigrated here. When you say foundational Black American freedmen, there's no doubt who you talking about. People that's got 8 grandparents over here. Going back further than that. The Flaccos, the academics, and everybody else, you don't have that. So you're so ashamed of where you from, you try to take on our identity. Does that sound familiar? Think about the movie Sinners. Think about real history, what the Caucasians, okay, the Alabaster community did to the Native Americans, etc., and the Australians down there, the British people that call themselves Australians. They go and wipe out a culture, then they try to assume people's identity. They tether on to it. They're tethers too. So when you look at these people, man, they're so ashamed of where they're from, they actually really want to think that they're like us, but you're not. Kendrick told you, you little chipmunk-faced bastard, you. Look at this picture of this boy, because I can't stop roasting him, man. When you look at this boy, man, don't he look just like a squirrel with a mouth full of nuts, man? You ever seen a chipmunk that's got a jaw full of walnuts and shit like that? You ever seen that shit? Come on, man. Tell me that ain't what he look like. A woodchuck with a mouth full of nuts. And I speculate it's Drake's nuts because he likes, the tasty taste of Drake's little old, biracial nuts in his mouth. Him and Snackademics, okay? Damn, brother. What you got going on, man? Shit, should the dealer have invited you to one of his parties? I mean, if you like nuts, you know what the dealer all about, man. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I'm just guessing. These are just, these are just thoughts I'm having. I got questions. I can't make a statement. I don't know. But, I'm just saying, man, compartments on your face, brother. Anyway, let me let this bastard continue with his attempted critique of things here, because I give him credit for the things I agree with, but man, you've been disrespectful to our people for a long time. And a lot of people have given you a pass. I ain't giving you one tonight. So let it continue.
More criticism. I don't understand why he did it at all. Now, I'm not faulting Jadakiss for getting a bag to do a podcast with Fat Joe. I don't even think, is Jadakiss an FBA? Because one thing about FBA is they always say, yo, you could tell who's FBA by the hairline. Jadakiss has an African hairline, right? If we're being honest. Or
Jadakiss, oh my God, brother. You've got Humpty Dumpty's illegitimate son trying to say you got an African hairline. Jadakiss keep a bald head for the most part. What you talking about, Fat Boy Flacco? But I tell you what hairline you do need to be concerned with. I don't know who your barber is, bro. He probably going to the Mexicans to cut his hair and shit. And then, regardless of what you do, bro, run a brush across your head. That shit is irking me, bro. Y'all, where my brothers of my lineage? You know that if we rock haircuts like this, one of the things we gonna do, we gonna brush some waves into our head, bro. But maybe Tether hair just don't do that. I mean, maybe I got this wrong because I'm not a Tether. I don't know. Maybe if you try to run a brush across Tether hair, tear that motherfucker up. So you're like, a bit down the brush, right? Tear up too many brushes, right? Maybe that's what it is, Flacco. Is that it? You fuck up brushes when you attempt to brush that little peasy cannonball ass head? Think about going outside your house with your shit looking like that, man. Boy, come on, bro. I guess I don't know what his upbringing was, but like I said, bro, I grew up in a family where my mother did not play us going outside the house with wrinkled up clothes at all. Because you represent a family name. Huh? I guess everybody didn't have that growing up. But anyway, let me let Captain Cannonball head up here with the little peas up top of his head continue here, boy. Let's let it continue.
Or the hairline that people associate with Africans. That's not necessarily true. Yeah, but Jada has that hairline. So I don't know if Jada is FBA or, if he's an out of code Tether, who knows? But yeah, I don't feel like.
Did this boy say a out of code Tether? See, that's another thing about you Tethers. Y'all always trying to use our slang and terminology. And you use it all out of context and be mispronouncing shit and using it all wrong. Oh my God. Out of code, y'all. Hey, we got it wrong. We can't say off code. It's supposed to be out of code from now on. We out of code, y'all. Anybody got any more code? Because we out of it. Boy, let's let it continue. Jesus Christ.
Jada should be blamed for taking a bag for doing a podcast with Fat Joe. A lot of other people would do the exact same thing if they had the opportunity to. Now, one person in particular.
Yeah, so there's his so-called critique of Fat Joe and throwing his little old wooden nickel 2 cents in, okay? But we're not done yet because see, now you finna see why I say that he's a lot more problematic. Because a lot of y'all probably looking at that, man, it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, you about to see it's about to get a whole lot worse. It's about to get worse than this face that he's making right here. Jesus, look, I got to do it, y'all, because I'm in a jovial mood tonight, even though I'm dealing with some serious subject matter. Can any of you find foundational Black American freedmen or non-FBA sisters in here? Because look, we have some gorgeous FBA and non-FBA women in here. Drop dead gorgeous. I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all, look, because I know what some of them look like, even though they don't have their profile picture. Let me tell you, boy, some stunners in the chat room. Y'all know who you are. Listen, man. Ladies, question. If you went to your favorite closet in your house, okay? Oh, yeah, y'all gonna hate me for this. Because now you're gonna be thinking about it. Imagine going to your favorite closet, you know what I'm saying? Linen closet, clothes closet, whatever it is. And you open the door to your closet and this jump out. A stuttering, inking damn tribal man. Rah! Because you know he gonna stutter. He can't never say rah! Rah, right? Rah, right? He just jump out with his face. Rah! And why this boy lips look like he been eating the powdered donuts? Ashy lips, son of a bitch, you. What are you doing? Somebody throw this boy some chopstick, man. What the fuck is going on, bruh? Why your lips so goddamn ashy? That don't make no fucking sense. Dude, look, they don't believe in lotion, deodorant, hairbrushes, chapstick, just appearance. Like, I know it's got to be mirrors. What are you, a fat fucking vampire? You don't want to keep no mirrors in your house so you can see how you look before you go outside, boy? Come on, man. What the hell, bro? Don't make no sense, man. Why your lips that goddamn white, boy? What is going on? This ain't right. Y'all, look, you niggas over there, no jumper. Let me get on y'all for a minute. You work with this motherfucker damn near every other day. Y'all ain't trying to take this man aside and be like, hey, man, look, okay, in the beginning, we let you do this shit because it was funny. But now, hey, man, all right, the joke is over. Come on, man, let's get your swag right, bro. We're going to take you to a decent barber. We're going to remind you to lotion up, okay? And I can imagine if you looking like that, you can't tell me this boy don't be funky, man. I ain't gonna lie now. We gonna tell the truth. Some of them, boy, they don't believe in deodorant. Tariq ain't lying when he called them musty tethers. I'm telling you now. Hey, stolen ancestors, I got to tell the truth. We got to do this. We have to tell the truth. Listen, you can't help nobody if you don't tell people the truth. This must stop. I'm just saying, man. The peasy hair and ashy lips, and you gonna be fat to be down. You can't be all three of them. You got to pick a struggle. You got to pick one. You can't have all that shit going on at the same time. You violating. No. You got to pick one. We gonna make you pick one. Chopstick is easy, brother. It's cheap. You can still afford that in this economy, okay? Big Western Sizzler hamhead fucker you. Man, listen, we gonna get into something else here, and you gonna see exactly why I've been going in on his ass, man. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Black Twitter is currently canceling Charleston White on Twitter due to comments made during his most recent interview with Say Cheese TV. Black Twitter has a problem with Charleston White going at their two heroes as of lately. There's a lot of support right now from Black folks for Rodney Hinton on your right and Carmelo Anthony on your left. There's support for these two people for a variety of reasons. Supporting them is still a polarizing issue, even in Black Twitter itself. Not everybody supports them. However, they have enough support to where there's enough noise being made on social media. Carmelo is a 17-year-old teen who was arrested at a school track meet for killing another student. He stabbed Austin Metcalf after Austin Metcalf attempted to move him out of a tent. Now, people are screaming self-defense. People is claiming it's not self-defense.
Anthony was being held on $1 million bond, which was crazy. Today, they reduced it to $250,000, which is, you know, still sizable, but he wound up getting out. All right, so Mark, first of all, the idea of race, I mean, you lived it with Zimmerman in a big way. There's so many people.
Oh, hold on before we get back to this. My brother, Dad Miller TV. Oh, shit. I got to read it. See, this is why I try not to look at the chat room a lot when I'm cooking. But damn it, this shit is funny. My brother Dad Miller TV said, how you from the home of shea butter and you crusty as fuck? There's no excuses, brother. You're right. This is what we got to tell them all. You from the home of where the organic shea butter come from, and you want to at least get in contact with some of your people to get you some shit on here to treat this fucking chronic ash that you have? Motherfuckers be running around here looking like little imitations of Casper, man. Ashy bastards, you and bastardesses, because the women be ashy too. Elbows, man. Shit, you can look at they motherfucking elbows. These motherfuckers damn near look like cyborgs, man. Shit be so ashy, it look like metal. Them little rusty ass knees, shit, lips, feet. Just ashy to be down. I believe these motherfuckers are Terminators. That's what that shit look like. They got metal up under there. That boy, that's bad when your ash look like metal. But anyway, hey, boy, that's funny, brother. That's some funny shit right there, boy. Y'all ain't shit in my chat room. See, this is why I'm like this. I get this stuff from y'all. I learned it from watching you. Man, let's let this continue, because I'm going to get on his ass about something real serious here in a minute, old fat boy Flacco. Let's let it continue.
Who believe that that's why Zimmerman wound up beating that case. But what do you see here? What are your questions? What will matter?
Oh, no, it's definitely a consideration. It always is, whether it's a sort of obvious what we're doing or the implicit one, because we all carry these implicit biases with us that perceive or impact how we perceive an event. Now, what's really it's going to come down to, and I disagree with the guy who said this is not a self-defense case yesterday, I think he said it. This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor. Was it an aggressive act for him to go up and say, get away from the tent? Did he do more than that? My understanding was maybe he touched him and put hands on him. Granted, that makes the decedent in this case maybe the initial aggressor. But you really still then have to look at whether or not Carmelo Anthony responded with appropriate force, he used a deadly weapon, and whether or not he was in imminent fear of great bodily injury. That's the standard in Texas and most every state to determine whether or not his actions, the way he perceived him, the way Carmelo Anthony perceived him when he took out that knife and stabbed him. The good part is if the decedent was the aggressor initially. The bad part for Carmelo, if in fact it's true that he sort of said, touch me and you'll see, because that's that aggression, that's that predisposition towards violence that doesn't have a place in a true self-defense case.
My take on the Carmelo Anthony situation, man, is I'm going to wait for the courts to decide. I'm going to wait for the court to decide if it's self-defense or not. All right, and I'm going to be perfectly fine with whatever the court decide. If the court decide he's a murderer, lock him up. If the court decide it was self-defense and he's innocent, then free the kid, all right? So
there it is right there. Oh, yeah. Now you probably see why I've been going so hard in the paint on this disrespectful motherfucker here. Flacco, let me talk to you and your people, okay? The Tether class, all right? Again, I'll say Tether class. I'm not talking about all continental Africans. Flacco, your people, a lot of your people across the 54 nations of Africa, not all, but enough for us to know that this is what goes on because I've seen it with my own eyes. Let me talk to you, brother. And I say brother loosely. My people, foundational Black Americans, we don't have to wait for the white man to tell us if something is self-defense or not when we're protecting our lives. Now, if your community, the Tethers, want to sit there and let the white man dictate to you whether you have the right to defend your person or not, like you do in your homelands where a couple of Asians can come over there and it's 20 y'all and one of him and he smacked the shit out all of y'all in a line, dancing, doing little Asian line dances while he doing it and daring you to do something, huh? If that's what you want to do, knock yourself out, player. I'm talking about, we've seen video where these motherfuckers throwing bananas in y'all faces and shit, daring you to do something, and instead of knocking the dog shit out their ass, you sitting there explaining. Yo, people, we ain't built like that, my boy. See, when you come from our lineage, the lineage of Nat Turner, John Horace, most of us don't have that in us. We ain't got to wait on a white man to decide something, but see, that's what you do. This is why most of us have delineated. We like, hey man, keep that pussy coward ass shit over there. Cause see, we already seen you sit there and let somebody spit on you. So, you know, maybe you think it's normal for people to do whatever they want to you. And then only response you have is to talk. If you do that at all. Cause we know if it was a white boy, you really ain't gonna do nothing then, huh? Hey, my guy, I get it. You come from a lineage where you don't understand what courage is. Cool, no problem. Do not expect my people to adopt your tether ass ways, because this is why most of y'all punk asses fled from where you come from, and you won't go back and try to build. And again, I've said this many times, and I'm gonna say it again here tonight. I'm not laying that at the feet of the tether class women. They are not the builders of any society. The women are not the chief primary builders and protectors of any society on the planet. However, the men are. So if you fled from somewhere, the men, since you say you work so hard and your IQs are so high, and I hadn't heard Flacco say that yet, but I'm talking about the tethers like the Myron Gaines. If any of this is remotely true, why don't you all get together in groups? Whether you're engineers, doctors, lawyers, architects, whatever the case may be. Your fellow countryman, Ibrahim Traore, even if you're not from Burkina Faso, he need every skilled part of any aspect of society that he can get. Why you not going over there in droves to help him? Or going back to your individual countries and saying, hey, we're going to go back as a group with the power of the American dollar and we're going to make some shit shake. We didn't have the economics before, but now we've been over here 10, 15 years. If you've been over here 15, 20 years, you've never gone back home as a group to build nothing, sit your bitch ass down in my country. You don't critique a goddamn thing about us. So, yes, you sit there and wait for the court to tell you what something is. Me and my people, we say it's self-defense, and that's what we gonna back. In his situation, Rodney Hinton Jr. situation, whatever the case may be, we ride with our people. Because see, one thing about them folks, they ride with theirs even when they dead wrong. Only a cowardly Tether would sit up and be indecisive on something like that. But I expect that from you because you're not my people. You disgrace the uniform of melanated skin. So I expect no less from a coward like you. You come from a cowardly lineage, so you sit up here and make statements like that with a straight face. Pathetic, man. Let's let this boy continue.
So his case is at least nuanced enough to where you have to give it the benefit of the doubt in terms of let the justice system play itself out. It serves no purpose trying to attack each other over this particular case. But black folks believe that Carmelo Anthony was acting in self-defense and Austin Metcalf was the aggressor. Whether or not you believe it, that's what Black Twitter is saying. All right. Again, not me. This is what Black Twitter is saying. Now, for the Rodney Hinton situation, this is a case that I believe only extremists, only people who truly have deep-seated hate in their heart can really look at this situation and feel anything.
I want you to listen to what he's about to say now, because I'm going to let him get all this out, and then I'm going to make a point.
Type of joy or support of Rodney Hinton. So the Rodney Hinton situation came about when his son was shot and killed by police officers. Now, he took it upon himself, even though, again, his son was shot and killed by one police officer. He took it upon himself to go ahead and run over and kill and target another police officer that has nothing to do with his son's death. And people is cheering him on for killing an innocent man.
On Monday, protesters gathered on the steps of the Hamilton County Courthouse. We were there as the Black Panthers and other groups voiced support for Hinton.
We sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Prosecutors say Hinton targeted Deputy Henderson after watching body camera video showing a Cincinnati police officer shooting and killing his son. Authorities say 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was pointing a gun at an officer. These protesters say they didn't see one in the footage.
They don't see Ryan being shot down unnecessarily as being what caused Rodney to respond in the way that he did.
Iris Rowley with the Cincinnati Black United Front watched on Monday. She says the city has championed police reform and policy in the past 25 years, but she says when it comes to Ryan Hinton's case, there's still work to be done.
We're waiting to see preliminary review of the video footage. We're looking at all of that. It's all to be reviewed. We do not have all of the facts yet, and so we are awaiting that.
In Cincinnati, Valerie Lyon.
What the police did to Rodney's son is despicable, is horrible, especially when you look at the video. The video is moving fast. So if the officer sent something that I didn't see, okay. But from watching that video, I didn't see the kid with a gun. I didn't see the kid point a gun at him. I see a kid trying to run away, trying to get out of there. And he was shot dead. So I can understand a father being upset or being led to the verge of insanity, to be honest with you. But what I can co-sign, yo, is going after another innocent man who was, I think, like working like traffic control or something like that, bro. Like he was working like he was working on like the traffic, bro. He was a traffic cop that day, right? Like directing traffic. He had nothing to do with the situation. Yo, if you want to take it out on the dude who did that to your son, go ahead and do you. Taking it out on an innocent person that had nothing to do with it, I can't co-sign. And anybody who's co-signing that, bro, I think they're just, either they just have some deep-seated hatred in their heart or they're just mentally ill. So
there you have it. See, this is the problem with the Tether class. And like I said, when you come from a cowardly lineage, Blocko, this is how I know the statement you just made. I know you don't have any children. Because, see, those from my lineage, the greater majority of us, we agree with Rodney Hinton. The police are the biggest gang in America. They call themselves the Blue Wall, the Thin Blue Line. Hey, they all stick up for each other, whether they're right or wrong, especially when they're wrong. This is what happens when you deny people justice. They're going to seek vengeance. That's the only other alternative. Let me tell you something. You cannot fathom what it's like if someone takes your child from you. No parent should have to know what it's like to bury a child. A child, especially if you're a present parent, and you witness this child come into the world and take his first breath, you hear his first cries. As it grows, you start to see it try to take its first steps. You hear it speak its first words. You have memories that are ingrained into you with this child. You love this child. This is the continuation of your bloodline and your legacy. Beyond that, it's a part of your very spirit. If you make this statement here that you just made, Flacco, you've got such compassion for people that have had no compassion, not only for my lineage, but neither have they had it for yours, which go to show that your fat ass don't know your own history. You got all this compassion for these people that look at you as if you're not even a human being, to the point that we have seen the shallow Hendrix amongst them call little black children the N-word. And you got all this morality and compassion for one of them. Cause he hit a person that how not to do that, right? See, I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from with this. And I want all women, no matter what lineage or race you of, to listen to the sound of my voice. And you better never forget these words. If the greater majority of your men take this position right here that he's taking, you in trouble. You are in trouble because in the event of an imminent threat, these are the pussies that will be hiding behind you, asking you what they're supposed to do. You not worth 2 fucking dead flies put together. When somebody attacks the children of your village and your community, if you don't consider that an open declaration of war, let me tell you something, man. You take some people's children away from them. That's the only thing a lot of people are living for is their children. You don't get to dictate to somebody how they respond to deal with your ass. Laws be damned. I said it. And you can't tell me you've ever loved anything if you can't say that you're willing to not only live for your children, but you're willing to die for them too. That's the type of family I come from. We don't play that shit. Ain't nobody gonna be waiting on no fucking check you hurt one of ours. But you tell the Sambos, and we've heard some of you admit it. In some of our spaces, you say that you would just wait for the process and get your check. Okay, cool. You keep that shit over there in your cowardly lineage. We ain't going for that. So now you see why I'm riding so hard on this motherfucker. Because see, a lot of these bastards are blended in amongst us. But one thing that I'm proud of they're doing, and this is what I will thank you, Flacco, and all the rest of you that wear the uniform of our skin, even though you're disgracing it, I'm so glad that when these things occur, Carmelo Anthony, Rodney Hinton Jr., Sandra Bland, okay, if you even want to go far back, hell, our sister man, Sonya Massey, Breonna Taylor, I'm so glad so many of you are coming out now and making it known how cowardly you are so that we can see who you are. Because I hold you in the same regard as I do the white supremacists. I don't want any of you censored. I don't want you to be ashamed of admitting who you are and what you do. I want you to come on out and let us know where you stand. This is a good thing. I applaud this. I want more of them to come out and reveal how cowardly you are. Because in the event that shit do hit the fan, we know who gonna be the ones that ain't worth a damn. You gonna be either begging and pleading or thinking that if you fight over there with the other side, that they're gonna spare you. If it was to come to some extreme like that. We've seen so many of them like Philip Anderson that I showed you, that goofy tether that got his teeth knocked out his mouth trying to do that in real time. So it's not like what I'm saying is something far-fetched. I appreciate you for this, Flacco. Keep your cowardice on full display, but don't expect us to adopt that. Let's let it continue.
Charleston White decided he was going to take on the Rodney Hinton situation as well as the Carmelo situation. His commentary on both served them no favors on Black Twitter today. Now, he first talked about the Rodney situation, which I think he was on point with.
Yeah, nigga.
Do you still you said a year ago on my platform that you don't give a about police brutality?
I don't.
You still don't?
Nope.
Even with it's a situation where a cop killed a kid and then a day later his dad went and killed the cop. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what will happen if something happened to, if a cop did something to somebody you love.
I ain't gonna do no coward shit like that.
How is that cowardly?
I ain't finna go kill no innocent person that didn't have nothing to do with my son being killed. It's an innocent person. I'm just finna go kill an innocent person. Don't know I'm finna do this to him. Where that motherfucker my son? Where his family at? Say, find his name, go get his, no. But I ain't finna go get no innocent person that didn't have nothing to do with this, homie.
Was it the same police force?
Fuck if it's the same police force.
That logic is so dumb. It was the same police force. I mean, they all guilty. Yo, these are the same people who support gang violence. We're the same people.
No, let me stop your fat, goofy, misguided ass. Those are not the same people that support gang violence. See, this is his warped, goofball, Tether point of view. And I'm going to go here with it. When you haven't graduated to manhood and you don't understand what honor is, this is how you talk. The people that are saying, hey, they all part of the same gang, is because how many of them ever come out and chastise their fellow officers or actually turn them in and say, hey, man, all of us don't represent this. Case in point, when what happened to our brother George Floyd happened, how many officers came forward and said, we don't stand for that? Where they at, huh? Oh, yeah, we going here, fat boy. You got the nerve to tell people that say, hey, man, when you corrupt and you uphold a corrupt system, all of you are the same. But see, we got sense enough to do that because, see, there's a reason right now why we don't flee our homelands, Flacco, and your people do. We have sense enough to recognize oppression and fight it. You recognize oppression and you bow down to it because you're too cowardly to stand up to it and face it. That's the difference between foundational Black American freedmen men and tethers like you. Now, shout out to the continent of African and Caribbean brothers that don't play that bullshit, because I know some of you that don't. I do. I can't act like I don't. But unfortunately, over here, y'all are not the majority. It's mostly Flaccos and Myron Gaines. If you're not directly insulting our people, you're too damn cowardly to take a stand against something like this joker. And you think that people that won't tolerate being oppressed is the same people that support gang violence. How the hell do you even conflate the two? But he's about to tell us what he thinks, because see, it's good to get the mindset of these types of individuals. Let's let him continue.
People with that mindset are the same people who think gang violence is perfectly fine, all right? Because somebody is responsible for the death of somebody from your neighborhood in 1960. That's excuse for you to come and murder somebody in 2025 who had nothing to do with it, all right? Same thing here. Yo, this man was working, was directing traffic, bro. This man was nowhere near the incident with your kid, had nothing to do with it, was not around, was a complete innocent man. You murder him because he's part of the same police force. Imagine if the police start taking that approach, bro. Oh, Rodney Hinton did this? Okay, everybody who lives in that community, y'all guilty too, bro. All right,
See, this is how disconnected this goofy tether is. Hey, fat boy Flacco, they already doing that. They've already been doing that to us. These motherfuckers do that to Black American communities all across this country. But see, your goofball ass is so disconnected from actual reality, you don't know that. And you speak out of ignorance so often instead of talking to people about things that you don't have an understanding of or don't know. You late. They've already been doing that to our people. This is how you get a Rodney Hinton Jr. This is how you get a Christopher Dorner, a Gavin Long, etc., huh? A Michael Johnson. That's how you get these people. You cannot expect the people to remain under a system of oppression forever just because you call it legal. Hell, slavery was legal in this country at one point in time. See, let me show you where I'm going with this. For a lot of people that don't understand why I'm going so hard, let me make it plain for you. If this fat fuck was over here during the time of chattel slavery, he would be the bastard that be like, y'all, you know they said it's illegal for us to get off these plantations. If you try that, I'm going to tell Massa. I'm going to tell on now. I ain't going. Do you see where I'm going with this? Just because you write something down on a piece of paper and say it's the law, if it's oppressing my people and harming us to our detriment, we are not obligated to go along with that. Not by right of man. We're not obligated to go along with that by right of the Most High himself. He doesn't expect any of us to sit down here and have our lives threatened and be mistreated. That's not what we were created for. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of your people that worship white Jesus and get to singing and dancing when them people get off planes, they come to your homeland, you tend to think otherwise. You think you're supposed to be abused by particularly white folks. You do. And anybody that's white adjacent, you think you've lost the warrior instinct that many of your great ancestors and icons that we revere over here in history had, where they wouldn't play the radio about their people being harmed. You've lost that. That's something that y'all from the Tether class gonna have to look in the mirror and do some soul searching on. And at what point, especially the men, do you look in the mirror and say, damn it, this is a sorry excuse of an existence as a man for me to sit up here and tolerate this as if it's something to be proud of? You a good little old slave nigga that's gonna obey the system no matter what it does to you. Well, Flacco, if they start killing people in your family, what you gonna do then, huh? That's what I would like to know. See, you have to personalize it for cowards like this. You still gonna be sitting up here making these videos talking about that? Well, you know, I ain't gonna do nothing because you can't get the person that didn't have nothing to do with it. You can't do that. That would be wrong. They sing a different tune when it hit their family, though. Man, this is pathetic, man. Let's let it continue.
Finna start planting drugs on y'all, bro. We finna start harassing y'all. We finna start taking y'all to jail for no reason. We finna, y'all will go to, bro, y'all will put on your marching boots, bro, and sing the spirituals, bro. Way down the wall. Yo, if that happened to y'all.
You see how goofy this son of a bitch is? They've been planting drugs on black folks. And you talking about singing the spirituals. Boy, where was you in 2020? See, you got us confused with your community. You know, the community that duck your head because you scared you're going to get deported, that don't ever stand up and say nothing. White folks can just bitch you around, call you anything, and put their hands on you, and you just duck your head and take it because you glad to be over here where you in a place that got actual clean running water and electricity that work with as long as you pay the bill and flip the switch. Huh? That's your people, not mine. We don't do that. Y'all the one that'll sit around and huddle up in a corner and let people abuse you, even when you're in your fucking homeland where you the majority and you run the government. Don't you ever get my people confused with yours. Call yourself trying to be funny, talking about we are saying Negro spirituals. Bitch, nigga, was we doing that in 2020 when they killed our brother George Floyd? You over here then, Flacco. Who you saw singing Negro spirituals then, bitch? I don't put up with that type of disrespect, man. Let's let this fucker continue.
Y'all be protesting for 30 days and 30 nights and fasting for 90 days, bruh. But now y'all are applying those principles to the police force, and all of a sudden, the sin of one police officer now applies to all police officers. Can you imagine if they applied that principles to black folks? Can you imagine if they apply, hey, bro, if somebody in your family ever did something bad, y'all all got to get punished for it. Can you imagine how terrifying life would be for all of us, including myself?
This cop didn't have nothing to do.
Did you hear this coward? You imagine how terrifying life would be for all of us, including myself. See, let me tell you something. Y'all thought that we were just saying that shit when we said if something really went down in this country, that most of these children will flee back to their homelands. Huh? Now you see an example of what we talking about. He ain't the only one that talk like that. They ain't gonna stand up for a damn. Look, how the fuck you think they gonna stand up for anything if they didn't stand up for their own homeland? You'd be a whole fool and a half to think that they would stand up against anything here or for anything here. Flacco, I'm saying this to you and anybody else that thinks like you that's not of our lineage. Keep that how terrifying something would be to yourself. Foundational Black American freedmen men that come from families like mine, we don't wake up in fear every day in our homeland. Oh God, what if they do this? What if they do that? Very few people of my lineage that are men talk that way. We don't have it in us. When you know who your family is and your history and where you come from, your heart don't pump feel like that. Can you imagine how terrifying it would be? Bitch nigga, you know why it ain't terrifying? Because most of us, if it went down like that and they just started trying to eliminate us, bitch, we gonna go down fighting. Huh? You think we gonna curl up into a little ball like a bitch somewhere and we got women and children that depend on us, elders in our community, and just sit up there and the men just gonna hurl up in a corner and take off running like you? Nah, we ain't built from the same cloth, brother. We ain't cut from the same cloth. That's you and your people. I want you to hear what this little old one-eyed cyclops is about to say. Sambo coon bastard that he is. Check this out.
Do with it. How you know he in agreement with it? You're gonna go pick an innocent person and kill him. And we clap for that. Yeah, nigga, yeah, no, nigga, go get the person that you, if you done something to me, what I look like gonna go do something to V and you done it? Nah, homie. No, that's some cow. That's a coward act. Cowardly act. You don't want to hurt an innocent person. Minding they mother don't know nothing about nothing and ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Maybe he went.
Now this coming from a fuck nigga that at 16 years old was a part of a murder when they was trying to rob a damn store. And you passed the gun to your homeboy who you snitched on. Cause that's what snitching is. If you doing a crime with somebody, then you go and tell on them later on. And you got the nerve to call somebody a coward, you little one-eyed fuck nigga, you. Boy, these little goofballs, when they get on these platforms, boy, and they turn themselves into these little imaginary characters, they just forget all the shit that they've done. Or they just give them a clean slate on all that bullshit. You got the nerve to call somebody a coward. But this is one of Flacco's idols, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of his heroes.
Psyche or
he ain't
maybe
shit. No, he ain't win shit. He ain't win shit. A psychic person, nigga, they crazy. He don't hold his head over pride when he walk by them police.
But that's what you said you like, though. You said, wait, you said that in previous interviews. You like when people were in the courtroom.
I like that. But nigga, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm responding to what you saying. Maybe he went crazy. A crazy person don't take pride like that is what I'm saying.
This the picture of
is called temporary insanity. That's what it's called, Charleston.
Rodney holding his head high, acting like he's an actual activist in the courthouse, bro. Yo,
no, bitch, nigga. He's not acting like an activist. He's living like a man. That's what you're supposed to do if somebody take the most precious and valuable thing from you. It's time to crash out. And if you know it's a chance that you're going to leave this earth, you got two choices where you can leave. On your knees crying and counting like a bitch, or you can look the fucking devil that's responsible for your trauma in the eye and say, fuck you and everything that you stand for. And damn it, my ancestors will finish the job where I left off. But you wouldn't know nothing like that if you don't come from a lineage like mine. Activist. Boy, this fat fucker is pathetic, man.
This man is a cold-blooded murderer who murdered an innocent person that had nothing to do with nothing. But this man is walking around acting like he's Martin Luther King Jr., acting like he Malcolm X, acting like he's doing something for the cause.
Martin Luther King Jr. believed in nonviolence, you idiot. Who did Malcolm kill? See, they just pull shit out their ass that don't make no fucking sense. This how you know when you been hanging around white folks too long, Flacco. Cause you know, see, this the type of fuck nigga that when they say they got black friends, they're talking about the Flaccos. They can sit around and make little racist jokes around and all that shit. But I remember when that little goofball, that drunk over there on No Jumper Lush, he said something disrespectful about your so-called family. You wanted to fight him. That's one of the few times I've seen you pick your little punk ass nuts up and actually got down try to stand up for yourself. Now, whether they actually fought or not, I don't know, but he definitely did call him out to a fight. But then you turn around and fix your lips to disrespect my lineage. man, boy. I'm telling you, Tethers, man, keep on, man. you playing with fire right about now. My people are not having this bullshit no more. You go over there and side with the oppressor, you're going to get what the oppressor gets. Let it continue.
All right, and here's the thing. Black folks is gonna make him Malcolm X. Like, he's gonna be a martyrer.
This boy said a martyrer. It's martyr, you idiot.
I ain't saying that ain't the shit. That's what you're supposed to do, nigga. But you saying, well, maybe, nah, nigga ain't went crazy. That was a choice. And he taking pride in it. Crazy people don't do that.
I've seen people crying online too that the death penalty is too harsh. I don't think it's too harsh, bro. I feel like the death penalty should be used for situations where there's like a 99.9, 100% certainty that this person did it. This is 100% certainty, bro. All right? He is prideful for doing it. He is confident in doing it. He's happy about doing it. He sees this as vengeance for his son, which, okay. And I also believe, bro, the support of Rodney Hinton is also rooted in trauma, bro. A lot of our community.
No, bitch, nigga, and don't use the term our. Ain't no our, ain't no we. You are not of our lineage. You are Liberian. That's what you are. Blacko, and anybody like you. You one of these motherfuckers, man, that descend from people that you would have turned on the actual freedom fighters. You would have turned on the Denmark Veseys, the Nat Turners. You would have turned on the Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the Christophs. You would have turned on the Nelson Mandelas, Winnie Mandela, the Shaka Zulus, the Thomas Sankaras. You would have turned on these people that was fighting oppression. Don't you realize? Do y'all hear that? I hope that everybody understands what this language is and what's behind that. You one of the scared Negroes that if you were existing back in them times, you the one that Harriet Tubman would have had to shoot. Oh, no, y'all. We know we shouldn't be escaping, y'all. I'm going back to the plantation. I'm going to tell on everybody. I'm telling on everybody. Yep. Harriet was like, pass me my pistol. Let me go ahead and handle this right now. You were one of the ones she would have had to shoot, bro. You. This is what that sounds like. I hope y'all understand that. You what you doing? See, this is the other thing that he's trying to do. Him and others like him. They think if they do this kind of shit that they ingratiate themselves with white folks. But see, you're not. No matter how much, and I noticed that tactic too from a lot of different immigrant class that's worried about being deported. They think if they kiss enough white ass that they're gonna be spared. Nah, you not reading the room over here amongst the alabaster people. They don't want nobody but their kind over here now. Why you think they imported them Afrikaners over here? Every time a Haitian try to come over here, you see they got them out of here in record time. Look how fast they're deporting everybody that's not white. If they ain't Ukrainian, if they not Afrikaner, what does that tell you? This ass kissing out of fear is not gonna save you, Flacco, or nobody like you. Some of these people have resolved themselves to get up and be cowards every day of their life. Absolutely pathetic. I thank God my father didn't raise me that way.
Communities have been exploited, have been damaged, have been taken advantage of, have been attacked by police officers. Police officers, the very few who aren't doing a great job, who don't honor their oath, they're the reasons why a lot of people is rooting for this. It's kind of like when a dude killed like the pharmacy owner or the owner of the largest healthcare company, and the world was celebrating because the world has trauma due to these healthcare companies effing everybody over. But that don't mean an innocent man deserves to die. Now, he asked Charleston White about Carmelo Anthony, and Charleston White had a harsher stance on Carmelo Anthony. Here's what Charleston White had to say.
About the Carmelo Anthony situation with the kid and the knife. I seen you speak on that.
He going to jail.
You were basically saying that.
So there's another kid that killed somebody at school due to bullying. They didn't find him with murder. They found him with like involuntary manslaughter and got like 10 or 12 years. He's going to get anywhere from that range. He's going to get anywhere from that range. It's two things. There's a police documented statement asking the police, is this Can I plead self-defense? He took a weapon to a school event. There's no way you can justify that. There's no way you can justify that.
You take pepper spray just in case something happens. I can bring something just in case something happens.
Not to a school event. I cannot bring pepper spray through security at the TSA. I cannot bring a gun to a bar where they...
Now, any of you that's read that handbook for that school, the law and the rule of the school, at least it was as per we read the handbook there, is it's not supposed to be on school property. That was not school property. That's not, see, these sambos like this, man, again, like I said, these are the people that if we was trying to get off the plantation, these are the ones that we would have to deal with. I'll go a step further. These people are descendants of the traitors, because you can't make me believe that that's not passed down through history. And salute to the good brother Project Leroy for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good man. Thank you very much. You can't make me believe that these people are not descended from the traitors in history. That's passed down through genetics too, just like courage is passed down. This coward is here. They're not the first. I guarantee you, if you look back at him and Flacco's family, they come from a lineage of cowards and traitors. I know they do. I'm telling you, somebody needs to invest in doing that research. I know that don't just happen overnight. That's a long line of that these bastards like this come from. Huh? I'm gonna let him finish making this statement, and then I'm gonna pose a question to Flacco, because it's a serious question. I'm gonna let Charleston finish this.
Sells alcohol.
I've heard this a lot from a lot of people, but I don't think people understand. Like, that really doesn't matter in the self-defense case, to be honest. If the courts decide, or if the police officers believe that Carmelo Anthony was faced with two choices to either die or to kill, and he chose to kill, then he will be home right now. Like, if they believe it was a real self-defense case, or it was a real...
You must be late, fat boy, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't keep up with things, but he is home right now. He made bail. Our community stood behind our brother and his family, and he is home right now. He's not sitting in jail right now. He's waiting on the trial, because he deserved a bail, and the community got together, and I'm proud of us for doing what we were supposed to do with our own. We can't always be there for everybody in every situation, but for those of us that are able, we do what we can, okay? We do what we can to support our people, because we all we got. And we got sense enough to know that, unlike this Tether sitting up here doing all this ass kissing and all this virtue signaling to white people. But Flacco, I'm going to ask you this question now that I paused this. Any woman that chooses to deal with you better pay close attention to these statements you making, because you are actually telling people that you the type of man that if something drastic happens to your family, you ain't gonna be worth a damn. I just gotta call it what it is per your own words. Listen, I can be corrected. Let me ask my chat room. Does anybody in my chat room here, because you are really free to disagree with me, is there anybody in my chat room that disagree with the statement that I just made? Is there anybody in here that disagree with that? If this boy had a wife and children, with the way he talking, if somebody just said, you know what, nigga, I'm gonna pick your family. Yours is the one today. You ain't did nothing to me, but damn it, I'm bringing the noise to your family. And heaven forbid somebody come butcher his entire family or threaten them to the point that they survive, but they severely hurt, and you the only one in good health? Is there anybody in here that would believe that he would go ahead and handle that business with the way he talking? Huh? I would like to know. Look, let me make it even more personal for everybody. I'm talking to men and women in here, whether you FBA or non-FBA, because see, I need to make this point. Is there anybody in here, man or woman, that's got daughters that will be confident if your daughter married anybody talking like this, no matter what lineage they are? Is there anybody in my chat room? Please let me know. The way this boy is talking, because I can't call him a man. You ain't graduated to manhood yet talking like this. Is there any parent in my chat room that is a father or mother to daughters that if your daughter brought home something like this, and you found out he talking like this, would you have confidence that he's going to protect your daughter? And any grandbabies that you have, is there anybody? Is this how men that protect and provide talk? Because see, the definition of manhood, that has meaning. You can't just become a grown male and say I'm a man. That comes with certain characteristics, that come with certain principles, that comes with a certain honor code, that comes with courage, consistency. Does he sound like he meet any of them things that I'm talking about? Per his own words, not mine, disregard everything I've said based on what he said. I didn't edit none of this. This is what he's saying. Let it continue.
Real self-defense situation where he had no other choice but to lay down and die or fight, then it don't matter if that knife was unauthorized. If he used it to save his life, he should be coming home. But, you know, the police officers believe it wasn't self-defense. The courts, as of now, believe that there's not enough for self-defense. So that's why he's not home. But yeah, I just heard a few people bring up like he brought the knife unauthorized. That don't matter in a self-defense case at all.
It's the 50-50 law rule. The school law states, school rules and regulations says you cannot have no weapons. Me, you, the kid, the parent, the coach, at any school event. You have to go through a metal detector. So
let me tell you something, Charleston, you one-eyed Sambo, you got plenty of white boys that go to these high schools with damn shotguns and rifles in the back of their damn pickup trucks, man. And I know everybody, especially in the South, y'all done seen that. Right now in 2025. You ain't supposed to have no weapon on it. When the last time you went to a high school and just looked at that? Huh? Come on now. Am I reaching with what I just said, family? How many of you have seen that where you are in the state that you in? Because we damn sure see it here in the South. Now, maybe up north, some of the schools don't tolerate that. Down here, yeah. Oh, hey, if it's a pickup truck, it's a damn shotgun in the back goddamn rear view of the window. Or if it's not in the back of it, it's in there. Man, come on, man. But see, when you a Sambo, like little Cyclops over here, little old coward that he is, everything is about kissing white people's ass. How you see, you know, man, that motherfuckers like this, bro, either they didn't know their fathers, or if they did know their father is just like them. They had to get it from somewhere. Because if you had a father worth a damn, most of us would be ashamed to go before any public space and talk like this and dishonor our father's legacy and our family name. This is how you know you're looking at a man with no honor whatsoever. Couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me.
Not, you can't have it at the school. You can't have it at the dance. You can't have it at the football game. You can't have it at another school district. You can't have it out of town at a school event. You can't have it at the debate thing. You can't have no weapons, homie. That's where he went wrong at.
So you're blaming him for not going to his parents. His parents should have went to the school.
He had a stay-at-home mama. He got a daddy at work. He got a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom's supposed to be in everybody's business. Stay-at-home mom supposed to be in everybody's business. If this is such a good kid, make straight A's and straight B's, because I got a nephew who go to school with him. So if he's such a good kid, man, these guys at school is messing with me. Why not report it? Why stab somebody and take a life? And then
you cowardly bitch ass snitch nigga, you. He did report it and nobody did anything about it. Now it come a time after you try to go through the proper channels. If somebody threatens your personhood, hey man, at that point, you tried to get it handled the right way. At that point, you do whatever you need to do to protect yourself and come back home to your family. That's how you handle that. Why he didn't report it? These niggas like this amongst us, man, I'm going to tell you something. It's going to come a time where they're going to be dealt with. They are. Their time is running out too. Trust me when I tell you. Because, see, they think they're valuable and ingratiating themselves with the white supremacists, but they don't have no more use for them. We quickly see that everywhere we look. These folks ain't really prizing these coons like that no more like they used to. I don't know who he think he ingratiating himself to, You better read the room with these white folks. You are not going to be the special pet that you think you're going to be. All this here cooning that you think you building up goodwill with them, you, Charleston, Flacco, academics, none of y'all. That's not going to work. Boy, that's going to be the greatest running joke ever when they finally realize that, because that time is coming. Trust me.
If you really defending yourself, why flee the scene and get rid of the weapon showing criminal intent?
I'm not read up enough on the Carmelo Anthony situation to even tell you if he ran away and stashed a knife away, because I don't know that. Listen, I'm just waiting to see the court case play out. Probably when the court case come, I'll probably do my deep dive on the situation, man. But now, what I will say, though, I do think is a tad bit hypocritical of Charleston's White behalf, because Charleston White is a supporter of George Zimmerman. Charleston White believed that George Zimmerman acted in self-defense and that George Zimmerman is innocent. So if he believes that George Zimmerman is innocent, then I don't understand how he won't believe Carmelo Anthony is innocent. Now, I'm not saying Carmelo Anthony is innocent, so please don't get my words like twisted up, okay?
Right here, that statement, family, who you think he was making that statement towards? Now, I'm not saying Carmelo Anthony is innocent, so please don't twist my word. Who you think he was talking to? He wasn't talking to black people. This punk-ass Tether was talking to white folks. That's who you was saying that to. See, I read between the lines, you big fucking coward, you. And others that talk like that. Did y'all catch that? Why would you feel the need to say that to black people? Because the greater majority of black people ain't saying that that boy is not innocent. You said that because you thinking about what white people think of you, Flacco. You ain't fooling me with that. Probably fooled them other punk-ass bastards around you on that goofy-ass whole jumper show. You ain't fooling me. I know a coward when I see one and hear one.
I'm not assigning innocence to anybody. I'll let the court decide that part. But if George Zimmerman was told not to follow Trayvon, but he still followed him, George Zimmerman initiated contact with a man minding his business. George Zimmerman sought out Trayvon, but Charleston White still believes that George Zimmerman is an innocent man. Like, regardless of what the court system decides.
And since you recognize that Charleston White support George Zimmerman, why is it that you have so much respect for him, Flacco? See, let me show y'all something. I'm glad that he's saying that, because the reason that I'm showing you this is a lot of people think this boy is slow. No, he ain't. He got plenty of sense. He played dumb. He got plenty of sense. If you recognize that he has such reverence for George Zimmerman that killed Trayvon Martin, who was merely going home minding his own business, that had to fight for his life and got shot by this punk-ass white Hispanic, you still hold Charleston White in high regard? See, I can't trust no nigga like that. I don't trust Charleston. I damn sure don't trust you. My point is, if you got sense enough to recognize that, then you got sense enough to know that shit is wrong. But a coward with no type of honor ain't gonna register nothing that I said.
Then would the Carmelo Anthony situation be a similar case to George Zimmerman?
And there you have it, family. So y'all probably thought that I was just riding down on Fat Boy Flacco for no reason. No. Now you see what I mean about him being one of the Tether class and does it in a little sneaky, passive-aggressive way and have people thinking that he halfway slow. Nah, that boy got plenty of common sense. Yes, he do. He's a big fucking Tether coward. And anybody like him or Fat Joe, let me tell you something. Not only have we delineated, the rule with delineation is when you get out of line, we're going to let you know your place. Don't be angry. Be glad that they come out the woodwork now, family, and droves, letting us know where they stand. That's a good thing for our people. I love it. This is a beautiful time to be alive, and I hope that it continues with the white supremacists and the Tethers, because we need to know where everybody stands. We need to know where everybody stands in our lineage, because we are in times now where this is life or death for us. We need to know where everybody stands on all these issues that involve our people's security and our safety, okay? So salute to everybody that donated and contributed to the broadcast. Salute to my Patreon members. We're going to have a Patreon broadcast coming up over there soon in the next couple of days on a very important subject. And until then, we're going to be steady lining up certain subject matter that we got to get taken care of over here on the main channel. If you check the live section or the community tab, you will be up to date on that. If you are new over here and a new subscriber, and you are a person that values education on a great many topics, if you like to be around other like-minded black folks that are foundational black American freedmen or non-FBA that are on code, congratulations, you're in the right place. If you're a punk-ass cowardly tether like we just reviewed here tonight, you definitely in the wrong place. You will not be welcome here. That's it. I want you to take care of yourselves, take care of your families. Remember, we're a great and mighty people when we're on code. And when we're on code, you do not reside in a bastion of cowardice and took our heads. We meet these threats head on and we protect our people. That's it. Salute to you, Black First, and I will see you all in future content.